Hey, Bernardo.
Morning. Hey.
Just having some technical difficulties as usual.
Oh no.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, hi, Ted.
Hello.
Are you not joining us by video, Ted?
I tried. Let's see. All right. Well, let me back out and try again.
All right. Yeah. So Bernardo, I did get your email.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I will be responding to that soon.
Cool. Your image is much clearer.
Good. I tried briefly on my Chromebook, but whew, it was horrible and I was super choppy. So
Oh.
This is my iPhone.
It's not letting me join by video.
Oh no.
Wonder why.
Are you on your usual setup?
Yes.
Through OBS? Huh.
And I have
Interesting.
V4L2 set up, so it is streaming the video.
Okay.
I am just not sure why. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Excellent.
Zoom had it crossed out. Okay. That's
there
why.
We go. Very good. All right. So I'm not sure where everybody is, considering we got this late start, but
well, considering the difficulties I had getting in, it might be just people are trying to. You might post a note on the YouTube to have people restart if they're waiting for the stream to start, because I had to start like 4 times.
Oh, okay.
I had no problem getting in. I just clicked it once.
Well, that's good.
Don't know what's so special about my case, but
I know.
Because you're beloved by God.
Oh. Here we go. Little by little, people are joining.
Okay.
I do see on our stream the what do you call it? Zoom must be having slight technical difficulties because no, it looks better now. Well, no, it's still cutting off the picture a little bit. It's like the picture is slightly off center.
Oh, that's try going full screen. I had that problem when I was virtual Harmons.
Oh.
If you go to gallery view, that might fix it too.
Let's see. Huh. Yeah, it's still cutting it off on YouTube. It's fine on my screen here. Hi, Brian. Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. We're having a whole new set of technical difficulties here, but
on the bright side, your audio and video is very sharp.
That's good. That's good. It's just our picture is a little bit cut off on YouTube, but I guess we'll deal with that. Let's see here. Let me just. How's everybody doing?
We're doing fine.
Very good. Very good. We have 6 people watching on YouTube. Let me pause it on there so I don't waste bandwidth. All right, there we go. And David Peterson is trying to join us. Let's see. Asking for the Zoom link. I better just post it in the comments there on.
Yeah, I got it off the website, but that might be more steps than people want to do.
I'm checking the stream on my iPad and it looks fine.
Okay. Maybe it's just something. Well, again, over here I'm using a Chromebook, so
use a real computer.
I know. Well, I have a real computer, but it's a desktop one, so you don't want to be over on my desk, so
We don't.
no.
What sort of terrible things do you keep on your desk?
You'll see like piles and piles of books and stacks of music and various odds and ends like pop vinyl figures and
That's so terrible. Oh, we
I
can't
know.
possibly see that.
I'm trying to find the link. Let's see. I will just
Oh, I see both Bernardo and Brian Good have big bass fiddles in their backgrounds.
Really? Oh my goodness, that's so bizarre.
That one's a cello. It's it's my girlfriend's.
Ah, okay.
Oh. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so yeah, David Peterson is going to be joining us shortly. I just referred him to typepals.com because I have all the information on there. So I need to create a short link so people can just go to, I don't know, join.typepals.com or something, and that way it's the same every time.
There you go. Use your HD access. That's what it's for.
There we go. Yes. Yeah. All right. We have David should be joining us very shortly. Let's see. Okay, with the YouTube, I went full screen and it did fix the issue on YouTube, so it was just me. All right, woo! I'm gonna have to like edit this video. Oh yeah.
There's David.
Hey, David.
Excellent. How are you, David?
He's not listening to us.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello.
He's out of practice. He hasn't joined us in a little while. So welcome back.
I got a new camera and it makes me look like I'm a ghost.
Oh.
I think it's catching the light from your monitor. Is that it?
I have no idea.
Or your window.
Okay. Just call it special effects.
It is a special. It's a filter. It makes me look even worse.
Oh,
we can see your background much nicer.
What's that?
I can see your background in a little more detail. I can see all your pens on a rack now.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
There you go.
So how are you, David? You haven't been on in a while.
Oh, I've been so busy. Illinois got hit really hard with COVID, so I live in the 5th highest COVID county in the nation. So
oh man,
we've been dealing with that I've been working really hard. So
yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry to hear about those troubles, but we're all in it to some degree. So yeah. Definitely.
Keep myself ensconced in the fortress of solitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to be back.
Yes. And we missed your dogs as well. So
okay, you can have them. Take them.
Oh,
they're your responsibility now.
Very good. First, real quick, let me see if I can do this. Supposedly.
All right, time to go.
All right, so I think I should have the spotlight here. I just learned about this spotlight feature. So real quick, because this was completely and utterly inspired by Mr. Monk, and you had spoken of the Franklin Covey little planner binders you collect. I went a slightly different route. I just bought one on Amazon because I specifically use fake leather. I don't do leather, so I got this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are any of them actual leather or?
You can get leather ones on there, but I definitely go for the non-leather. But so it has the magnetic closure, and I ordered some blank sheets.
Oh, you didn't cut them yourself and hand punch them with
No.
a hand punch?
I could have. I actually have a near professional quality paper cutter where you can cut a whole ream at one time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I miss mine. I used to have one when we had the print shop, so I had a 5 foot tall pneumatic paper cutter with a blade like a razor blade that long.
You have to use the two hands for safety or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's got two buttons on one on either side, like a pinball machine, so you don't. They don't want you to put your hands under there. Although I did see, we had a pressman once that got their thumb caught under the pressure clamp, and that's the first time I've ever seen someone smash their thumb completely flat.
Oh,
that's the first time. So you've seen it more than once?
Yeah.
Oh,
in the printing industry, there's a lot of things that can mess up. Either your hair or your hands.
Lots of rollers and clamps and
blades and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, in high school, I worked briefly in a print shop, and so I got to use all that stuff. And we were just dealing with the small presses, the little AB Dick 360s, I think it was.
Oh yeah, I had one of those for a long time.
Yeah, they're fun little things.
They're called duplicators. Yeah. They're not presses.
There you see. I was only in the industry for a brief while.
It's not a press unless it's a Heidelberg.
Okay. All right. So we have our terminology down now. Excellent. All right. So we do have some questions here.
Okay.
Because this is asked and answered. Let me see. I think I'll just leave it on where everybody's on the screen until we're actually showing something on the screen, maybe. All right, so we have a couple that were entered on the survey on typepals.com, which I encourage you to take the survey. It gives you an opportunity to give your opinion on things and suggest topics and ask questions, that sort of thing. So, all right. So the first one comes actually from Anthony Connolly.
Okay.
And he's asking about the art of purchasing typewriters online.
I have no input on that. I don't.
No input.
It's a gamble. It's a risk.
Yeah.
If I order something from online, I'll put the order in or I'll pay for the auction, and then I'll just try to forget about it entirely. And if it ever shows up, I'll be happy. And if any of the pieces are still attached or if anything's not broken, I'll be over the moon. But I expect a box of scraps and crushed plastic to come like 6 months to never after I order it. And then if a working typewriter comes out, I'll just throw a big party. You have to resign yourself to that level of not caring about what you ordered.
Yeah.
That's my take.
It's sad, but it's true. Yeah. So my personal advice would be sure and scrutinize the pictures as much as you can, even though the pictures are almost always fairly useless. And more importantly, ask questions before you buy it. I had to do that a couple times with Shop Goodwill. the description that they had was a little misleading. For example, in the listing, they mentioned large type. So I got excited. I was like, ooh, it's like 6 characters per inch or something. And what they meant by that, and fortunately I did ask, is they meant it's a large typewriter, not large type. So be sure and ask your questions. And then also another huge suggestion is pay through PayPal and be ready to have them intervene on your behalf. Or even contact, like if it's through Shop Goodwill, contact their customer service and ask for them to make good on their customer service. In fact, I had to do that just, was it yesterday? I had a typewriter. It was a Sears typewriter that I was expecting, an electric one. They put it in a Sears, what appeared to be a Sears suitcase. It said Sears on it. And, at first glance, you would think it's a typewriter case, but it did not have anything securing the typewriter in there. And the typewriter just barely fit. So in shipment, it was bouncing around in there, and the plate was going all crazy. And I opened it up, and immediately I heard like pieces of plastic like breaking off. I was like, oh no. Like the space bar came off, the paper release lever came off.
Yeah.
And not just came off, but I mean shattered.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to be prepared to contact the customer service and tell them, you did not ship this properly. So yeah, I need a refund. So I'm still waiting on that. I haven't heard from them, but I think that's probably the biggest tip with buying online. As far as where to go online, I basically stick to Shop Goodwill because prices on eBay have skyrocketed. So yeah.
Generally in person or at a Goodwill store, I find the best stuff when it's been misidentified. I've got manual typewriters that are listed as vintage electronics. So the guys looking in the typewriter section never see those things. Or they'll say it's they'll think it's something else. They think it's a word processor or something that won't show up in typewriter.
Yeah.
That stuff's always cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you're in a Goodwill or any thrift store, really, you got to hit all the aisles because
Oh yeah,
I found the little suitcase stuck in underneath where the clothes are, and over where the yard implements are, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Also searching typewriter, 2 words.
Mm-hmm.
Quotations.
Okay.
Because that's where you get a really good deal, because people, if they don't know how to spell word,
Yeah.
or if you're shopping a foreign auction site, find the words that you're looking for in the right language and search for that, even with the special characters and things. So like you can search on German eBay for Scriben machine, and you'll find stuff you don't find if you put typewriter in.
Okay, those are some good points there. So
set a radius of how far you want to go. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to buy typewriters, and the more rural you go, the better deals you're going to get.
Yeah,
because people don't want to drive that far to go get something.
Yeah,
it's a smaller pool you're competing with.
Yeah, so that's my recommendation. Never buy anything that has to be mailed unless it's a very good deal, and then when you do, be very specific and pay extra for shipping.
Yeah.
If they don't want to go the extra length, then just don't get it, because it's going to be busted.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess another tip would be, if you do buy it online, tell them how to pack it. Yeah, we can't assume that they know what they're doing, unfortunately. Especially if it's just someone that, like, maybe they sell stuff off from estate sales, and they've never really shipped a typewriter before, maybe. So, we need to be sure and tell them, okay, you need to secure the platen or the carriage, and use plenty of bubble wrap even inside the typewriter case. And
I got a Hermes 3000 for $5. And
what?
Yes. And true story. And I think it was like $35 or $40 extra for shipping. Like, get bubble wrap, just to make them, happy about it. Spent a little bit extra on that shipping because it was, it's $5, and it came and it was in good shape. It was missing the right platen knob, but that's normal for Hermes.
Yeah. Wow.
The good old
What a
days.
deal, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Not anymore. So.
Yeah. Welcome, John. How are you?
Excellent. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far so good.
Excellent. Yeah, I think Zoom is going to be better for us. So.
Yeah. I think I had a little bit of lag on the other one, the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Being maybe from where I'm coming from. So.
No, I think it was StreamYard itself. They're still adding features and working on their software essentially. So
yeah,
I think they have a little ways to go. They're behind Zoom. Their interface is really nice, like from my perspective, but that doesn't help if we have a choppy stream. Yeah. Well, again, welcome. And John, do you buy online?
The only online we have here, that I use is called Kijiji. I don't know if you have it in the US. It's like Craigslist.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. I did actually order one that got shipped from Ontario down to me, but I wasn't too worried about the risk of shipping it because it's just a little thermal typewriter coming in its case. So I have it now. Little Typestar 5.
Oh, okay.
5 or 6. I don't know.
Does it have the brown? Does it have the brown body, or is it black?
Kind of brown, gray, kind of.
Yeah, that's probably the 6 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, thermal typewriters are one of my passions. So.
Yeah, I've
got the idea of a Canadian Craigslist where everybody's just like really super polite.
There is a Canadian Craigslist, but I don't see much in. I just don't like the way it works. I prefer the Kijiji.
Okay.
Yeah. I get more local stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, if no one else has anything else to say about the purchasing online, we'll move on to the next question. And this one comes from, and I might slaughter his last name, but Mike Arau. He says, to coffee shop or not to coffee shop? And that's an especially interesting question during this time,
Yeah.
Right now, no.
Yeah. What about outside? Because a lot of these places have outdoor seating now. Would you do it outside?
I tend to not go places during COVID because there's germs on things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's cold too to be outside.
Yeah.
That's true, especially this time of year. Yes. Of course, I'm in Southern California, so we actually had Thanksgiving outside. So
Well, like cold, I mean like 72, 73.
Yeah, it's freezing here at 72.
Yeah. I have to put a sweater on.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I don't know. I'd feel too conscious of doing it, but I wouldn't be so much worried about the sound as opposed to the smell of the typewriter. Might be anyone.
Interesting.
People look at you strangely, for sure. When you're typing,
definitely.
Like you're a terrorist or something. Like, what's that guy up to?
Yeah.
I know it's a weird thing to say, but that's how it feels. They're like, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Well, I've taken my thermal typewriters to coffee shops a couple times.
Yeah.
Because they look kind of more like a, I don't know, like a Tandy 100 or like an old computer.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird, but it's not as weird, I guess. You don't necessarily look like a hipster. You just look strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Loud.
But
they bring people over to you. I guess if you're that kind of person that likes attention, then absolutely, because you're gonna get some attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got
That
a
kind
lot
of
of
person
attention.
that's just trying to do some work, stay home.
Oh no.
You don't do work out in
No,
public.
not at all.
You're going to get people so interested in what you're doing that they're going to come and want to talk to you. I mean, it's weird. People normally just don't come up and talk to you unless you got a typewriter in front of you. It's kind of a license for people to come up and talk to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I used to play upright bass on the street corner in Olympia, Washington. And you carry an upright bass down a city street in the middle of town. People stop and talk to you without even hearing you play. They're like, "Yeah, you're so cool, man. That's great." And people come talk to me all day long, whether I play or not. Actually, I think I got more money when I didn't play. But that's the same kind of thing. You bring a typewriter out someplace, you're going to attract attention. It's going to make conversation and stuff, which is fun.
Busking is tough. That's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very
not
interesting
easy to do. So.
There's quite a cultural difference over here. I've tried taking a typewriter to a coffee shop and to gardens, and people just don't pay attention to me at all.
Interesting.
Really? Yeah. In America, you're not allowed to do anything without people bothering you. That's the rule.
Yeah, nothing
Nobody's
out of the
allowed to
norm.
mind their own business, I think. Is
I try to stay as far away of the other customers as I can, to not bother them with the noise. But just I was kind of expecting some attention based on what I see from you guys. But now people just don't.
They just don't bother you.
They just mind their own businesses.
No, not in America. We don't mind our own business. We want to know.
We mind other people's business.
Yes,
Yeah.
the world's business.
I see he's muted, but welcome, Anthony. I don't know if we asked your question earlier. Okay, good, excellent. Yeah, so now we are on to the next question, and this one comes from our very own Ted Monk.
Which one's that? Is that the one that looks like a wizard?
Yes. Okay. He is the wizard. What are you talking about?
He is a wizard. Yes. Gandalf.
All right. So his question is, what is your favorite color on a typewriter?
No. The question is, what is your favorite color?
Well, okay.
All right. So say it like that.
Okay. No, we'll just go with that. Now, I have to say, I love Brian's yellow typewriter. I forget which, was it an Olivetti? Oh, Torpedo. Okay.
Brian has some
this one or that
very
one?
nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the orange one.
Yeah, well, it's kind of school bus yellow.
Mm.
This is a Torpedo.
That's the yellow one.
That's the Torpedo. So yeah, this one's this is more school bus chrome yellow, and this is more yellow.
Ah. So is that a favorite color for you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I was really just trying to make a whole rainbow, so every color at some point. See, there's the orange. There we go.
Nice.
Are torpedoes carriage shift?
I don't remember.
Basket shift?
Yep.
Nice. That's where it's
Oh.
I didn't know. I had to hit the shift. I haven't typed on it in a while. Okay, I'm back. Going.
Like I love SM3s, but the carriage shift drives me nuts.
Oh.
It's wonderful. Got one right in front of me.
No,
you just gotta
I have one
use.
right in front of me too.
You just gotta lighten the springs a bit to
Okay.
get it to where it lifts a little easier. But
My computer is sitting on an SM3 right now.
Wow, this is the
I'm sitting
SM3
on an
episode.
SM3 right now too.
I have no SM3, so I'm out.
Want mine?
Sure.
Okay. I'll
But
find
mine is a
it, Greg.
white carriage.
You can always find it.
even,
Yeah.
mine is a white carriage, so it's extra weight on the shift. So.
Oh.
It slams harder when you hit the end of the thing too.
Yeah.
I think
So
red is the best color for typewriters. Obviously, anything red is going to sell like crazy. If you find any typewriter that's red, buy it, because the resale value on those is insane. Bubblegum pink is another one. I passed on a Quiet, the Royal Quiet Deluxe in bubblegum pink. It was like $30. I passed on it. I saw the same thing posted again for $300. It was the same machine within a matter of a couple weeks. So
wow.
My favorite color is blue, but I think for typewriters, anything like green, if you can find a green Olivetti Valentine, those are pretty rare, right, Ted?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled. That one's worth quite a bit, I believe.
Yeah. And you'll have lots of people wanting it. Though I don't know why. I mean, Valentines are garbage, but
they are.
Maybe next week I'll
Is that a thermal typewriter?
That's a TypeStar 5.
Oh yeah. Those do come in a couple colors.
Yeah. I really wanted to have a red one.
Yeah, I actually have a blue type mate coming.
Oh yeah.
I think that's coming tomorrow, I believe. So that should be interesting, comparing it to the TypeStars and see how that is.
I had a TypeStar 110, which was one of the later ones, and I didn't care for it very much. I like the 6 better.
Yeah, the 6 is good. 6 and older are the really good ones.
Yeah.
My sweet spot is kind of the 4 and the 5. Yeah,
4 is the best.
I think that's the one that has the centering feature, and then the 5 does not have the centering feature. Yeah,
for some reason,
it's kind of strange.
The 4 has proportional spacing, like a couple different fonts, and has all the features that later on they put on cartridges to stick inside the machine.
Yes.
I don't know why the 4 is so much better than the 5 and the 6 and maybe the 7. Sometimes the 7s have a lot of features in them, but the 4s are the best.
I do have a 7, but it's not working. I still need to send it to Joe to see if he can fix it for me. But but I would have to say blue is definitely a preference for me. But another, well, of course, at the top of my wish list is the orange with white trim.
Traveler Deluxe.
Olympia Traveler Deluxe, yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah, those are nice.
I don't know what it is about that, but I just see it and it just makes me think of an ice cream bar.
I have a regular colored one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the white and black. That's pretty cool too, because white is actually another favorite color. My which one is it? Oh, the Olympia. Well, it's the Olympia Electronic. It has the white body with the dark gray lid. Yeah, so white would be another favorite color. So I guess blue, orange, white. Yeah, sort of blue isn't so unusual, but the other colors are fairly unusual, I think. Yeah,
I think all of the Traveler Deluxe is like they must have like about a dozen or so color combinations that you've seen. They all look nice. They all look great.
Yeah.
And it's like the other one too is the Royal Safaris. They had a lot of variety in the colors.
Yeah. I wonder why that was.
I think maybe they were appealing to the students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an appointment. I have an appointment this week to see the equivalent of the Royal Custom 3 in red this week. So if it's everything okay, I'll get it and show it next week.
Very good.
The Portuguese brand Mesa.
Yeah.
Made the Royal Custom 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So finally, I'll have a Portuguese machine.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't find more of them out there, because
I find a lot of them. Most of them in blue. The next in green, but this is the first red one I've seen, and I thought it was the right time to get one.
Yeah, definitely. You should be seeing like Portuguese-made ABC machines, and
yes.
On the the cold steel variations, and you should have a pretty rich hunting ground there for those ex-German machines.
My problem is lack of space, because if I had more room, I definitely would have a good selection there.
Well, I'm going to say my favorite color is black on a typewriter. But,
I was going to say that, but I don't have any.
It's basic and it's businesslike, and
I agree.
Do you like the shiny black or the crinkle black?
Either one, actually. I like I'm real fond of machines from the 1940s, and usually those are in crinkle black. I have a few from the 30s that are shiny black, but then you always worry about putting fingerprints on it and smudging the shininess. But they're easy to clean, so it's not a big deal. But I like black. It just looks right on a typewriter to me.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't have any in my very tiny collection, because I haven't found one in my budget and that works well. But yeah, I would love to have a black one. I have my SM3 is green, the SM9 is white. I've shown you the Traveler. I have this.
That's pretty close.
Tippa.
Yeah, Tippa.
That's close. Yeah.
It's charcoal.
Yeah. It's not black.
See, but it looks businesslike.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it makes them look a little more classic too. Yeah. When you get those bright colors, you definitely get that modern feel. That's for sure. Especially when you see something like orange or yellow or
I love the bronze color on the Groma Calibris, but all I could get was this.
You got a pretty good one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be complaining about that one.
I know.
Don't worry, Greg will send you a black typewriter.
There you go.
He's on
it.
Though honestly, I don't really worry too much about the colors on machines. I take them as I get them. So, the question's going to come up. I think you've got a question there about where to find replacement rubber feet. And one of the things I did with my SM3 here, which is kind of silver and gray and dark maroon, is I cast my own feet for it that are I cast them in clear polyurethane with metallic flakes inside, so it's got silver and maroon metallic flakes, and so now I have feet that kind of match the machine insofar as color.
Okay.
And I'm enjoying that a lot. I like the kind of matching accoutrements.
Yeah.
Does anyone here have a clipper with the little plane on the decal?
Nope.
I can't find one to save my life either. I have a clipper, but it's the brown one.
Those are highly desired.
It's Tom Hanks again.
Yeah.
It is. He did that 60 Minutes interview, and he told the reporter, "Buy this one. This is a great machine, and then now you can't find them anywhere.
Then they're just gone.
Thanks, Tom.
I know.
Tell them to buy tell them to buy terrible typewriters.
Well, you should just talk up some, some Brother JP ones, and pretty soon you won't be able to get those.
But he uses what, a Smith Corona, or is it just a Corona flat top? Isn't that?
I've seen him use Corona Speedlines, Corona flat tops. He seems to like Coronas a lot.
Yeah.
He likes to beat up his Hermes 3000. I don't know if you saw the Vanity Fair thing where he
Yeah.
showed how to change a ribbon. And he's just ripping things off of the machine. And Tom,
he's now in Greece, I believe, and there was a picture of him in Greece, and he's got his typewriter case with him.
That don't surprise me.
If anybody sees those clippers, those are a hard find. If it's got the little plain decal on it, buy it. Because in my collecting, I came across one, and that was it.
Oh,
one more than me.
Yeah. Our very own Indro, I think he's still going to be joining us later. He's actually exchanged letters with Tom Hanks, so that's interesting.
Did he start it out with "How dare you"? Number one, how dare you?
All right,
it's easy. He's Tom Hanks. He can dare anything he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in The Burbs. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a great movie, by the way. I'm sorry.
That seems like your kind of movie, Tim.
Best film he ever did. Saving Private Ryan, whatever. The Burbs.
The Burbs. Oh my. All right. So, Ted, did you have anything? Because you essentially addressed Doug Jackson's question about the rubber feet. Did you have anything else to say on that?
I've got lots to say about that. I've been
excellent.
For the past few months, I've been basically making casts and casting replacement feet in color for, like, these are Corona 4 feet and kind of a maroon. I have Groma Calibri N feet in mint for my green Groma Calibri M. I, of course, have loads and loads of these mint Hermes 3000 feet for the HP 258, the round top version. I actually have lots of extras of these in case anybody is interested in some. And I've been testing them over the past few months to make sure that they maintain grippiness, because they, polyurethane has a kind of a grip to it, and I really like that on my desk to, put the machine on the desk and have it just stay there without slipping around. So that's kind of my objective. In the future, I'm hoping to. Right now, I've got I've been working on the SM3 feet, SM3 and 4, and but I also want to make feet for the case bottom itself. The 4 little curved feet that kind of sit on the case lid, and they're always disintegrating or gone. I'm working on making rubber replacements for those. And eventually I want to make an entire SM3 rubber replacement kit, so you can replace the spacebar rubber, the 4 rubber grommets between the body and the shell, the feet, and then the feet on the actual case itself. So hopefully in the future you'll see a little kit that I'm going to be making that is all cast in custom colors. So we'll have some for the gray and maroon SM3s, and some for the green and black ones, and maroon and black. So I'm hoping to start a little side gig there, making feet. So there's one option. I know that Tony Casillo up in, where's he at? He's up north. He has apparently a supplier that CNC cuts actual black rubber feet replacements for a lot of typewriters. So you can get them from him, but he charges $40 a set plus shipping. So it's a little high for my taste. But there are some options other than Steve Dade. Now that he's indisposed for an unknown amount of time, but there are options. I'm sure there will be more as more people get into 3D printing and rubber casting. You'll get lots of people doing this.
Excellent. All right. So
did you 3D print the molds, Ted?
No, I cast them in the stuff. Yeah, silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
Yeah.
They're cast from original feet, is what you're saying.
Yes, I try to find a set of really good feet and make casts of them. And if I have to modify them, I'll do that. Like for instance, I couldn't find Corona 4 feet in any decent shape. So I basically built my own using some rubber grommets and some shaped clay. So it's the right size, and it fits in the little slot, and it should be basically the exact same size as the original feet. But nowadays when you look at a Corona 4, it's got this pancake of hard plastic. It's about an inch wide on the front and back, and that's not anywhere near what it looked like when it came from the factory. So sometimes you have to make them. Sometimes I can cast them and modify them. Like the Colibri feet are just crazy complex. These I had to. You got this. The back feet are just thin and got a lot of holes in them for the screws to go through, and that one I'm still testing because I'm not sure that the fact that they're so thin makes me worry about the longevity. But so far they've been working out. I'm going to put a few more months worth of testing on those before I actually sell any, but we'll see if they hold up.
We'll be glad to beta test for you.
Well, I actually have some. If you have an SM3 and you don't mind weird colors, because I would cast the SM3 feet along with the Hermes 3000 ones, so I have mint green SM3 feet that probably no one's going to want because there's no mint green SM3s. But
I think you need to send those to David.
Send those to David?
Yeah.
Well, send me your address and we'll see what we can do.
Come on over. Make sure you get COVID. Yeah.
Oh,
it's terrible over here.
I know. Oh.
Anyway, that's all I had to say about that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And then Doug actually had another question. What is the best way to remove rust on typewriters?
I live in Arizona. We don't have rust here.
Vinegar.
Excellent.
Vinegar is a good choice. Patience.
Yeah.
Vinegar, patience, and some Q-tips. If that doesn't work, there are products out there. You just want to make sure that you want to be very careful with platen and any kind of rubber. But I've had luck with just using vinegar, honestly, or CLR, lime away.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff too.
Excellent. And now, CLR especially, is that something you would not want to get on random parts in the typewriter and just make sure it's isolated to what you're trying to get the rest off of?
I don't know if there's I just am always careful with the platen with any kind of viscous chemicals. So
okay.
I learned from Dwayne Jensen from Phoenix Typewriter. If you watch his videos, he uses like towels, to cover things up. And he uses air. I bought a little air compressor, and that's a great investment because it just dries it off, immediately. So
there you go.
Yeah, take a little bit of vinegar, let it sit. If that doesn't do the case, go up to CLR, but it'll come off.
Okay. Excellent. Now it's kind of funny because in his question he says, "I know what I use, but curious what others use." So now we're wondering what he uses.
Yeah.
maybe vinegar. Yeah. All right. Now let's see. I think it was all the questions that were submitted. However, from our last asked and answered, I had a whole series of questions and I didn't even get through them all. So we shall finish those then. And oh, okay. Sarah's in the comments. I can't read her message. Let's see here. Sorry, one moment.
Brian, were you in the Stray Cats?
Yeah, no, no, but I had a Stray Cats picture as my background on Facebook for a while because it looked like me. People thought it was me.
Yeah. Stray Cats are awesome. Yeah. Are you a rockabilly guy or?
No, I'm like a folk rock kind of guy.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Wilco? Do you like Wilco?
I like as much Wilco as I've ever heard. I haven't heard a whole lot. I was actually into Billy Bragg first, and
hell yeah!
got into Wilco because of Billy Bragg.
Yeah, Mermaid Avenue, man, that's a killer record. They recorded that at King Size Records in Chicago.
Yeah,
there's a guy named Mike Hagler, and I mastered an album there.
Oh, neat.
And yeah, that's Billy Bragg's killer, man.
Yeah. So do you know any of the alt country kind of stuff?
Sure. Yeah, Bloodshot Records is in Chicago. So.
Do you know John Rawhouse?
No.
Do you know who he is?
No.
Oh, he's a pedal steel player. He plays with Nico Case.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Old 97s. He's played on a lot of that kind of stuff.
So Nico Case, I don't know. She would. There's rumors that she proposed to Mike from King Size, but yeah, he did. Mike did Jeff Tweedy's album with Mavis Staples, and
oh wow, yeah.
There's the alt country scene. I could go on and on. I mean, in Illinois, it's Jay Bennett. I got to see Jay Bennett's CD release party at the Subterranean after he had passed away, and Edward Birch played some songs, and it was killer. Good music scene. Sorry.
I'm sorry, we're getting a little bit away from Typewriter.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's allowed once in a while. I guess in the comments, Sarah was just saying that she's going to be joining us in a while. So, so we will continue with the questions. All right. I don't think I got to this one last time. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But if you weren't obsessed with typewriters, what would fill that void? Anyone?
Is there anything other than typewriters to be obsessed about?
Well, for me personally, it's definitely books and music. We have an insane number of books. We even turned our spare room into a library, and my music collection is insane. Even though I've actually been selling a lot of it, I recently started a business selling music, but it's crazy. So those definitely would fill the void. Anyone else?
Yeah, I collected old Nintendo games for a long time. I have tons. This was before anybody started collecting, and the prices are insane. Because I just wanted to play old Nintendo games, and then this is when you could get them for a quarter, and VHS tapes. You could get 4 for a quarter at Goodwill. I don't know why, but I got my favorite one is the Twin Peaks VHS set because it spells out Twin Peaks.
My wife has that.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. And we also have I have the first 5 Rocky movies. I have all of the James Bond movies, the first 5 Star Trek movies, all on VHS.
Right on, man.
You have all of the James Bond movies, including the original Casino Royale?
That one I don't think I have, because it's kind of
It's an official Aeon protection.
Yeah, but it's not part of the timeline, the accepted
canon.
timeline.
It's completely canon.
Plus, it's not as good.
Oh, it's terrible. It's actually hilarious to watch. But
Yeah,
it's you need a certain amount of mind-bending drugs to watch that one.
It's another thing you could collect if you didn't collect typewriters, was
there you go.
drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, there you go.
Like cheaper.
I know, huh? Anyone else have collections? I know Bernardo has the medals, right?
He's got his
Indeed.
coins.
Now, other than the medals, are there other things? But feel free to show medals.
Yeah, I'll just grab a couple. So,
Yeah. I was looking at Bernardo's website. He recently sent me an email. I was looking at his website, and also a website he is designing or working on for someone else. And
indeed,
there's a bunch of medals on there. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Okay, I'll start with the classic shapes, and then we'll move on to. Okay, this is just as I said, I have a very small space for displaying, so I have to keep a very short selection. But okay, this classic portrait medal from 19th century, early 20th century tradition. And then we start seeing different cuts. Then we move to inside the, cutting inside. This one is cast instead of struck like coins.
Or is it like sculpture? What do people? Is it like a gift, or?
It is a subfield of sculpture. We learn to make these in the fine arts school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is a specialty of sculpting and sculptors.
Wow.
These are gifts or souvenirs for events and commemorating people, and yeah, this is for a television anniversary. It has
Oh yeah,
Nice.
old-timey television. Yeah, so we do have an old and very big tradition here, and some countries in Europe have them as well. France, Italy. It originated in Italy in the Renaissance, based on the old Greek coins. But then from the 80s on, we start seeing really different things, such as this.
Abacus.
This is for the 150th birth anniversary of the Bank of Portugal. It's represents a section of a gold bar, and we have an abacus inside for the accounting.
No, Joe Van Cleve collects those abacus.
Yeah,
I know.
Just send that one to him.
There you
go. So yeah, I went to school in fine arts school as well as the other schools. I did a general degree. I did maths first, and then I tried to do a lot of different things. And I went to the humanities school and the art school, and I discovered these techniques because I wanted to work with silicone and polyurethane and resins, when I was learning sculpture, and the only class that was teaching those technologies was the medal making class. So I applied, and then I learned all about medals, and I started collecting, and that's how I got into it.
You became obsessed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Passionate is a better word, not obsessed.
Yeah. You already have grounding in molding silicone and polyurethane.
Indeed, that's why I was asking.
Yeah. That's so you got all the tools you need.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, my 3D printer is broken right now, but I've experimented with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a fascinating field, I think.
We have bowling trophies in America.
Oh. we also
I don't know if you've ever
study.
seen those, but they're very, very nice.
We also study trophy design in this class.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's medals, coins, and trophies.
Oh,
All right.
Study. Yeah.
Cool.
very cool.
But yeah, before this, I obsessed about best pen. I usually go for finding the best one instead of having a lot of them. So
Yeah.
I did that with sketchbooks and fountain pens and all sorts of stuff. The best.
What do you got for
pencils.
fountain pens?
I usually my current one is missing, actually. Probably dropped it on. Yeah, so I need to go do a deep search in my car, but I prefer to use a calligraphy pen with a wide nib, so I can have a great range of strikes I can do because I use them for writing and for drawing. So I'm currently using a Lamy with a calligraphy nib.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, I have a bunch of pens, and the one that I use the most is I like stub nibs or double broads, but the one I use every day for work is a TWSBI Eco, and I've been using it for 2 years, and that thing it's like a $30 pen, but if anybody's gonna get a pen, the TWSBI Eco with a stub nib, it'll last you forever. I mean, it's for $30 with some Noodler's Blue. That's my go-to.
Excellent.
This is
Anyone
one from
go ahead.
From England. This is a Parsons. These are great. These are really nice. This is an italic nib. I don't know if I can get that. You guys can see it or not. But it's a wonderful pen for signing. And then in Ohio, Conklin still makes pens. This is a all-American.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful pen.
That's a resin pen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of like flooring, like old school basement flooring.
Yeah.
And then Coveco, which is a German company. These are nice because you can swap the nibs out really easily. But yeah, they're not expensive pens. I refuse. This is probably the most expensive one that I've purchased. I can't believe people that buy, the super expensive. I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, they go up to over $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Mont Blancs, right? Or the Pelicans. Those can be pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the one I use is 30-40 euros. I think that's as high as I go.
I have any gold nibs either because I can't expect pen.
Yeah, that kicks the price way up. Yeah. Anyone else? Any side passions, shall we call them?
I've got lots of stuff, but like 1980s electronics, hi-fi stuff. I have a lot of that. I have a lot of red and black things from the 80s because at some time red and black was cool. So you saw red and black and stuff as like a high tech thing for like 2 or 3 years. But like I have
Not pink and gray. That was my wedding colors.
my ukulele is red and black. I've got my Remington Starfire, of course, which is in the red and black collection, and that's that Canon Type Star I just had. If I look around, there's tons of stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna get my bass. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll get my bass.
Okay.
So gray and pink, Ted.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Gray and pink, you said?
Yeah, that was, I got married in 88, so gray and pink was the colors.
It was in.
Yeah, that was very much in. And in fact, the original, my first house had gray carpet and pink walls. So I was a child of the 80s.
And
Yeah.
An adult of the 80s.
Yep. It's my Ibanez.
Ibanez. Ooh, I should get my
Nice.
Ibanez out.
Ooh, nice.
how about John?
Never really been into collecting stuff. As in, you know, I remember there's stuff, you know, I always dabble in, like anything to do with sports. If I got into like collecting old cards or jerseys and stuff like that, but never really. I'm married, so it's tough to,
Right.
it's tough to, you know, if I can't justify purchasing something, then do I really need it? Kind of thing.
So
I just wish
No,
Oh,
go
sorry?
ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead, please.
I just wish I had the things that I had, you know, when I was young, like,
Yeah.
you know, sports magazines and cards and stuff. I'd like to have them around, but I don't know what happened to them. So I do have a little bit of stuff. We used to play a lot of sports board games stuff, and I still have a couple of those. Really, I always preferred that over electronic games. You're kind of like in control of your strategy more or less, and it's one-on-one with another person.
So do professional curlers have their own like cards?
I don't know about that.
I didn't even know curling was a thing until I was in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I said, "What is this?" I had no idea what was going on.
The further west you go, it grows.
Yeah.
You know, it's really big out there. Yeah, but I mean, I've only curled twice, I think, in my life, and I think I was drunk for one of them. It's a little tricky, you know. You get in the ice and you kind of push with one foot and you slide in the other, and
Yeah.
getting the weight down is a skill.
Well, John, I had no idea that this even existed. I get to Winnipeg and it's on TV. I said, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
You know, but it's neat to watch, but I just didn't know.
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
thing, you know. So.
Ted, it looks like you have your guitar there.
Well, fretless bass anyway. This is
Oh,
Nice.
bass. Okay. Excellent.
So it's an Alvarez. I heard him say Ibanez, and I thought, oh, I thought I had an Ibanez, but Ibanez, but I have an Alvarez.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Like a
Oh yeah, I know
it's
that.
Korean made
Yep.
fretless bass. So when I want to lay a bass track down,
Hit us with some weather report, Ted. Let's go.
oh, I don't know if I can play weather report. That's a little too complex
Come on.
for me.
These are easy songs, right?
So
I can lay some bass tracks down, but I don't know about weather report. That jazzy stuff's a little too much for me.
Yeah. Anyone else have things that they would be passionate about other than typewriters?
I was for a while. I was into smoking pipes.
Ah.
I have a
Bernardo, you are my spirit animal. Yes.
This is an American one, of course.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
That's a Hobbit pipe.
Indeed. I can do the smoke rings, but I've yet to do the ship that goes through them.
Mm-hmm.
That one I haven't mastered yet.
You guys are.
Sorry, Sarah, I didn't get that.
You guys are a bad influence.
Yeah.
Just remember, a pipe holder.
Whitey will pay.
Nice.
It's metal, and your pipe just goes like that.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what he's doing. He's kind
He's looks like he's ready for sailor position.
Yes.
I think Aneurin Drury saying that he found a pipe recently with some Remington stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a kind of a freeform briar, I think, that he found. It's a really large sculptural piece.
Wow.
Brian's got all his red and black stuff out.
Look at that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm like, where's Marty from Back to the Future?
Yeah. So, yeah, all the best stuff's made in Japan.
Wow.
That's on the list.
How come your dog isn't red and black?
He wasn't around in the 80s.
Okay.
Kind of got 80s hair though.
But he does.
Yeah.
It does.
Got a perm at the mall.
Yeah.
They're talking about you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, little guy.
All right, Sarah. I can put you on the screen here now. What would you be passionate about if it weren't for typewriters? What would fill that void for you?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, I like so many things, beading. I was doing like handmade jewelry for a while, and I have a pretty large collection of beading materials. I've done a few plays in the last few years. I did some theater, so I actually, thank you, I made hats and costume pieces. So I was actually in the Music Man a couple years ago, and I made all of the vintage hats for all the ladies with feathers and everything. And then I also was in Midsummer Night's Dream last year, and I made all the headpieces for the fairies and everything. I was Titania and Hippolyta, and I made like the things with sticks and feathers and glitter and all that kind of stuff by hand. So pretty much stuff with my hands, I would say. Sewing, books, music, like you guys are saying. I play piano by ear. Gosh, there's lots of different things. But I think it's true in this community that so many of us are artisans in other ways and love to do things with our hands. And so this is really just an extension of that.
Exactly. Like my friend Bob, he's not here today, but his other passion is obviously motorcycles. And he was talking about the relationship between working on motorcycles and working on typewriters, and
Right.
Yeah.
Props are fun. That's a fun job to do.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to put a beard. They call it laying a beard, with spirit gum for a short film. And I practiced on my wife. Because
you already have a beard.
Because I already have one, yes. So it was so amazing. And I did it. I used too much spirit gum and I couldn't get it off.
Oh.
Gave her a big kiss, and so when we went to go shoot it, the deal was the guy was supposed to be like a hermit, So we got this guy. We put this beard on with spirit gum and everything, and then we were done filming for the day. So I'm taking this stuff off, and this was at a state park.
Mm-hmm.
And people are looking at me like, why is this? He looked homeless, you know, why is this guy taking this homeless man's beard off? It was very surreal. We got a lot of looks, like, because I'm like, you know, cutting it and putting it to the side, and you know, people were very confused. So
Oh wow.
It's a side gig.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I love plays. I love screenplays. I was just
Mhm.
watching some. I just watched Raisin in the Sun last week, which is such a great production. You know, if you
Mhm.
guys haven't seen it, it's an amazing play. And we watched what was the other one? David Mamet's Glengarry Glen Ross, which he won the Pulitzer Prize for, which is awesome too. So
Yeah.
Excellent. Anyone else on the obsession? Otherwise, we'll move on to another question. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. And this one is actually, did we cover this one last time? I don't think we did. Okay, so, and this is a very deep question. So, is there a benefit to typewriters out in the world? For example, schools, libraries, offices, bookstores, coffee shops, etc.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At a personal level, I've felt the benefit for sure.
Mhm.
I use mine to write almost every day, and I find the benefit for writing I'm doing a master's degree in sculpture, but I have my theoretical classes, and I use a typewriter for parts of the writing process of the papers, and I find that very useful. And I write a journal. I've been writing almost every day since April, and I find that to be very helpful. So, at a personal level, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think it would be beneficial for schools to still have typewriters for people to use?
Oh yeah, I think that's been shown.
Yeah.
With the typewriter school project. Yeah, I think so. It's
Okay.
totally different. Totally different to write on a typewriter.
Mhm.
you're allowed to
Yeah.
make mistakes, and I think that's the most important for children. You know, instead of self-editing and creating, you know, you write something and you can just delete it. When we did Paper Fingers, that was the whole premise was, you know, you go forward, you learn from your mistakes, and eventually you become, you know, you think about what you're going to say before you write it because it's permanent. So as far as writing's concerned, anybody that uses a typewriter for a long enough period is going to be a killer writer, better than they were before, and a better speller too. Um, yeah, I think now people are so obsessed with deleting things, you know, deleting, changing, editing, and you know, we're not allowed to make mistakes anymore. And typewriters are about mistakes. You know, I want to show you guys something real quick. This is the zine that we made from Paper Fingers. So Paper Fingers was a 2-day event where I put my
cool
collection,
You know.
and people could just use them. And what we did was we actually collected a bunch of stuff that people wrote and put it together in a zine. And it's just random stuff. We had artists and put it together as a magazine.
That is very cool.
So
That's wonderful.
yeah, that's what we got out of it. But it's funny because you see people, you know, that we don't know who these guys are. So they just wrote stuff, you know. Here's one that says how to do the writing thing. Number 1, write. Number 2, revise. Number 3, regret for the end. You know, stuff like that. Just we had artists and people come around, and
Cool.
if you guys want, there's a full PDF version I can get you.
Oh yeah.
That, and it's pretty neat.
Are paper versions available?
I don't, if they are, they're through a gallery in Rockford called the 317 Collective. And I can put you in contact with them. They may still have some.
That would be great, because I would actually prefer a paper copy, because I have a passion for zines, and I'm restarting a collection of zines. So what is that?
I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago that I wrote something that was for COVID, and I wrote it on a typewriter, and it got into these are all things from artists doing stuff during COVID.
Oh, cool.
So mine was just a typewritten poem called The Year of the Metal Rat.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So I mean, it's a nice art form is the way that I look at it, and such. It's a good medium.
I think that's really true what you're saying, David, about allowing ourselves to make mistakes. And, with my kids, I've told them, make mistakes on the typewriter. Look at me. I make tons of mistakes. It's totally okay, because this is part of our process. My daughter loves typewriter. My son shies away from it, but he's very into video games. He's very much a technology guy. And he says, Mom, I don't want to, because my spelling is terrible. And, it's just going to be worse on the typewriter. I said, well, there are typewriters that can help with that. But honestly, if you just kind of hack it out, you're going to get better, because you have that kinetic feel. And I haven't been able to sort of bring him over to the dark side of typewriters yet, but excuse me. But my mom and I started writing letters during this time on typewriters. And we weren't really doing that much before, but I said to her the same thing, and it really kind of freed her up. It's been this wonderful process, because, she's in her 70s and, I'm in my 40s. And I said, look, make mistakes. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just get it on the paper, stick a stamp on it, and send it off. And the more things that I send to her, the more she is embracing that idea. So I think, like you're saying, typewriters really do have kind of this wonderful process place for us in the world.
Very good. Very good.
More, I think if I had gotten into typewriters before COVID, I probably would have wanted to have a collection that I would take to school, with my kids' classes, and kind of have kids try them out like a lot of people do. I just think that's a wonderful, wonderful way of getting kids into this and kind of giving them hands-on history. But unfortunately, we can't right now. But I think it needs to come back in so many ways for kids.
Yes,
Very
it's
good.
amazing to watch the lights go off, the light bulb.
There we go.
Go off. When they start, because at first it's kind of like, this is a typewriter, they just type something, they're looking, and it goes, and then the bell goes off, and they're like, whoa, what was that? And then they keep going a little bit, and then it stops, and they're like, okay, where's enter?
Yes.
Then you show them the release, and they're like, this is amazing. So then they once they get that figured out, then they'll play around a little bit more, and then a few minutes later, they're quiet and they're writing, and they're not even realizing they're doing it, and they're having a really good time. It happens to everybody when they first, if they're allowed to, sit with a typewriter for long enough for the first time. So, and to see that process, in a world where everything is touchscreen, and you have to be perfect and you can't make any mistakes, that's my theory behind typewriters. That's why I love them so much, because they're saying you're not perfect, you're a person,
Yeah, it's very much a connection with our humanity, and it's just magical when it happens. Isn't it? So cool.
Wow. Those are amazing answers.
Yeah, we used to throw, before COVID, we used to throw type-ins at public libraries. And of course, there'd be loads and loads of little kids because the room where we had the type-ins was right next to the children's section in the library. And so you'd have little kids filter through, and, within, 15 minutes, you'd have all these kids sitting at the typewriters, and you couldn't get them off. You'd have to basically rip them away from the machines. They love it. It's I mean, that's a great warm fuzzy feeling for me when you set out a table full of typewriters and kids just naturally gravitate to them like planets to the sun, and they love it. I mean, it's one of the best things about having a typewriter group is to be able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. You give them a piece of clean white paper and you say, you can write anything you want. You can create
just leave them
anything.
alone. Leave them alone.
There's no borders. It's not like with music, there's only so many chords. With writing, it's a blank. You can do anything you want. You can write anything you want.
And even aside from the words that are on the page, the fact that it's actually something physical, the paper has become part of the art.
Right.
And like if you look on the back, you see all the bullet holes where the period was, and on the front.
Yeah.
Go ahead. and on the front, you have the different levels of ink based on how hard you hit the keys, and so it's
Exactly.
and that's one reason it makes so much sense that you included your poem in that art book, because typewritten pages are art.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, even aside from the words, So.
A nice thing to do too is find paper that's aged, and if you guys go to Goodwill, always look at paper, because
Definitely
aged paper it's hard, it's expensive online, and it's cheap as hell at Goodwill. And you can find, old envelopes, stuff like that. I know Greg does a lot of that, old stationery stuff, old postcards. When somebody gets something like that in the mail as a letter, and you took the time to, I've got this old stamps and I've got all, it's awesome to get something like that in the mail, So don't skip out on the paper. It's just as important.
That's
it really
true.
is.
Actually collects the old stamps and puts them straight on the envelopes and sends them to me too. So she'll have the ones that are like the ones that are actually working, and then she'll have a whole bunch of other little 1 cent, 2 cent, whatever random stuff, historical ones that she attaches. And it's so fun to receive those. I never want to throw the envelope away. I always save it because it's so cool.
I took issue with, I'm not trying to rag on Tom Hanks again, but he wrote that book with the typewritten, about the stories with typewriters in them, right? And he said, well, obviously they asked him, did he write it on a typewriter? And he said, obviously no. But why obviously no? Some of the best works of fiction and nonfiction were written on typewriters. Arthur Miller used a typewriter. Harlan Ellison, to the day he died, used a typewriter. So why is that such a strange thing now? Like if you said, I wrote a book on a typewriter, people would look at you like you're insane. But people did it forever. People did it. It's not that hard. You can do it.
I think everyone maybe different process. Like he maybe feels like he can edit more freely with a computer.
I mean, it's a typewriter book. You got to write it on a typewriter, right?
Yeah.
Take that, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Your millions of dollars. Yeah.
Well, I know all the Richard Polk books, aren't those done on typewriter? The Paradigm Shifts, and I've got quite a few books.
Backspaces.
Yeah. I've got the collection. If I can keep my books from falling over here, but yeah, I've got all these
I got a story in Escapements at the end.
Yeah.
So, and I think Joe was in Paradigm.
I think he was in the first one.
Yeah.
Does anybody know if the submission is still open for the?
Yeah,
it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going until March.
Oh,
February.
I think so.
Wow.
Because I got a hold of Richard and I was like, I got something ready, and he's like, just take your time.
That's funny. Because I would like to submit. It's just, I'm a procrastinator, so yeah.
I do my best writing under pressure too, Gregory.
Yeah, it's like when I was in school, we would have to write essays, and I would wait until the 11th hour, and I would knock out an essay that was pretty darn good, considering how quickly it was written.
Yeah,
so
I know the feeling.
yeah.
This is my box of paper.
Oh, let's focus here.
Just collected weird bits. I don't know, like you can't really see it, but it's like aged blue, so it's kind of like a smoky. Receipts, bags, all kinds of just those from like calculators.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You definitely have to use an elite typewriter for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have these around for, if you want to do little art projects that include multiple different types, different colors, stuff like that. For all the bios for paper fingers, we did with different paper, and each one kind of was supposed to reflect the artist, so that was kind of cool. Like Erica Toledo's, we put stamps from Ecuador because it's where her family's from.
Oh, cool.
And she's also a mailman, so I think we did it on an envelope. Her actual bio, just typed it on the back of the envelope with a stamp.
Cool.
So
very cool.
I wonder what Mr. iPhone has to say.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're talking about me.
Yes.
Well, this is the first time. This is the first time for me. What was my name come up as? Just iPhone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now
Dan Miller, right?
someone will have to teach me how to change that. My name is Dan Miller.
Hi,
Yeah.
Dan.
Good to meet you,
may
Dan.
have seen. Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Ford.
You may have seen my name occasionally on comments in different typewriters, YouTube videos, and my Facebook page is Mount Pleasant Typer. Although I haven't had much time lately to be on Facebook, just the COVID and the kids and all that, I've been spending a lot of time with them. But I'm glad to see everybody. Yeah, I've been a little hesitant to do this. I'm more of an introvert for sure. But so I've been listening to all of your podcasts, Gregory, and I've enjoyed every one of them. And again, I echo everybody's about Zoom. This is so much better. I was having such trouble with it clipping so bad that I didn't even try to join in because I wasn't sure if it was my end, or if it was the software you were using. But obviously, Zoom is much better.
Yeah.
But no, it's so nice to see people that enjoy typewriters so much, because I'll be honest with you, I've loved typewriters pretty much all my life. I'm 48 years old, but it's I don't know if anybody else had the same experience that I did, but you just didn't really mention it because people look at you crazy, like, typewriter, are you kidding me? So I never said anything. And then when I was laid off from work when the economy turned back in 2008 and 2009. I'm an engineer for HVAC, heating and air conditioning. So when the economy tanked, construction slowed, and a lot of us got laid off. So I was actually laid off for almost 3 years, took that opportunity to get a couple of associate degrees. But at the same time, trying to find something to do, my brother's kids picked up an old Olivetti letter of 22 script font from a flea market.
Oh, wow.
They just brought it over, and it just re-sparked an old interest of mine. And ever since then, I think a month later, I bought my first manual, which was the Silent Super 5 series, which I've got sitting right in front of me right now. And I think I'm up to about 30 machines now. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. every minute of it. Putzing around with him, watching Dwayne's videos. I think I've watched every one of them probably 50 times. I've learned a lot. Joe's videos have been just wonderful. Everybody's videos. And I just been sitting back, and I just would like to become a little bit more involved with this. Ted, I've got several Ted's books too. Those have been a godsend for tuning up these old machines. The database, I can't count how many times I've been on that website. My goodness. That has been a godsend. But when you guys were talking before about the kids, I've got a 10-year-old son and an 8-year-old son. And unfortunately, in the neighborhood I live in, there's probably 15 kids about their age. And my older son came in and said, "Dad, do you think you could pull out the typewriters?" I'm thinking, I don't think these kids are going to like this. You know, they're going to come in and just say it's dumb. It's dumb.
So wrong.
Oh my goodness. I put 10 machines up on a folding table, a couple folding tables, and brought out a ream of paper. And everybody came in. I told them, I said, "You better ask your parents if it's okay." A couple of the parents actually came over, which I was glad. And the only rule I had was if the keys jam, call me over and I will unjam the keys. And that's pretty much what I spent doing 90% of the time was unjamming keys. But I kid you not, 3 hours went past.
Wow, that's awesome.
And they were all just typing stuff, enjoying themselves. And a couple of kids said, "Do you have any old ones, any old typewriters that you don't want anymore?" Oh. So I've actually gone to the thrift store, found a couple beat up the 6 Series Smith Coronas, because I live in southeastern Wisconsin, just south of Milwaukee, and they're still pretty cheap when you find them. So I would buy a couple of those. I'd lube them up a little bit, get them working, and I'd hand them over. And the look on their faces was it was wonderful. It was just wonderful.
It's a treasure.
It really is. It was really is, and it was an eye-opening experience for me because I thought for sure they were going to look at my boys and say, "Your dad's nuts. These are dumb," and they absolutely loved it. And even now, that was
you're
during
the cool
the summer.
dad now.
The cool dad. They will several times say, "Hey, go ask your dad if you can bring out the typewriters. Go ask your dad if you can bring out the typewriters." And I have a couple times, but even the couple parents that came over would tell the stories to their kids, like, "Yeah, I remember learning in middle school, Mrs. Gall taught us on this old Olympia." I had an SM9 on the table. It was just a fun experience. So I am glad that I'm not the only person interested in typewriters, because when I started collecting these, nobody talked about them. And there's really not, to my knowledge, I've looked in southeastern Wisconsin, I don't know of really anything that goes on around here.
You were in a typewriter hotspot, though, just so you know. You guys get outside of Milwaukee, you could find so many nice typewriters. Because I mean, am I wrong? Is Milwaukee the birthplace of the typewriter?
It is the Shoals, and I've driven past that Shoals placard 100 times. I had a construction site where we were working on the new Pfizer Forum, and buildings right next to the Pfizer Forum, which is where the Milwaukee Bucks play. And the new Bucks Arena is literally one block north of that Shoals, where he started with the typewriters. And I thought for sure there'd be so many type-ins. And I have not found any. Yeah, maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot, but
no, I mean just like buying typewriters, because I'm in Illinois.
Yeah, you can find them go on Craigslist, and they're fairly cheap. You start getting farther south towards, at least my experience, southwestern United States, they get pricey. Yeah, they get very pricey. You can still find them around here. I've been very fortunate. I've got 5 typewriters sitting on the table in front of me. I've got each of them for under $50. That was my first Smith Corona. Am I allowed to flip the camera on these?
Yeah, Dan, typewriters. We can't wait to see them. Show us your typewriters.
All right, here's a button. I'm so sorry. I'm so new at this.
I love the Wisconsin accent, by the way. It's one of my favorites.
Is there an accent?
Oh,
So-
yeah, 100%, dude.
Okay. So this is my first typewriter. It's a 54 Silent
Nice.
Super. I bought it for $20 up near the Madison area. It was in really good shape when I got it, but I had been emailing an older gentleman who lives in Ohio, Don Nichols. He's since retired, but he restores typewriters. And I just like this machine so much. I had a little extra money in my bank account, and I shipped it down to him, and I said, Don, do the best restoration you can. He took it down to every nut and bolt. Every type slug, or not slug, but the bars were removed. And it's turned out factory. And
Wow.
this is my favorite machine. I absolutely love it. I don't regret spending one penny on this machine. And to this day, I'll say this is my best typer. The second one that I have, now this is a neat one. This is my, I got it all written down here, folks. What year is this one? This one is I got this one for $25.
An Underwood
And
stand.
it's a 1932 Underwood Model 6. Now, I saw it on Craigslist, and it looked to be in phenomenal shape. It really is. Even these, these are rarely this clean.
Yeah. Those
And
tablets.
it sat on my desk covered for almost a year. And then I said, I'm going to put some paper in it. Well, I don't know if this is why it was so cheap and why it is in such good condition, but it's 6
pitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
6
look
pitch.
at that.
Oh.
And I don't know if I was disappointed or if I should be excited.
You
You should be very excited. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Is that right? I don't know if there's much of a demand for these, but it doesn't look like it has much mileage on it. Even the paint, how the paint on the corners usually gets chipped.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
man.
virtually perfect.
I'm so jealous right now.
It needs a good polishing for sure. But you can see the big font on the flatten. So this is my next project. And this one, I think this is a 68. This one I picked up.
What is it? J5?
It's a 4. It's a 4.
J4? Okay.
Yeah. This one I picked up for $15 from a lady down in Kenosha, which is just south of me. Again, very little use. And this was a very famous office machine place in Kenosha for years and years and years. I don't think they're in business anymore.
Yeah, don't ever take that off. Those are great.
No, people
yeah.
told me that. And this is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite. I love these machines. I wish there was more repair videos on these. I know Dwayne has a few of them, but I just love the way these things type. This is a 1940. I've got a
KMM, yes.
Yes, and I've got a 51 KMG, which is basically the same machine except it's gray, and it has the tombstone keys. That one's just as nice. Now this one, I'm gonna come around here. My last one I've got. Now the next week I'll have more typewriters on the thing.
Remington.
Okay, now this one. People laughed at me. I paid $10 for this at the thrift store. And this by far is the heaviest machine I own. It's worse than a Selectric. To me, I was like, God, it's kind of ugly. It's weird looking. And it's got the Sperry Rand name on it, which at the time I didn't know anything about. It's plastic, but I kid you not, this thing types like butter. It is by far the smoothest typewriter I personally own.
You know why?
And I don't know anything about it. The database, but as best I can find anything, it's about a 1970.
Probably late 60s, early 70s, yeah. The thing is, that thing is a super writer inside of a plastic case. So have you ever heard of a Remington super writer?
Yes.
That's what that thing is. Mechanically, that is a super writer.
Interesting.
Okay. Did the Super Writer have a good reputation at all?
Had an excellent reputation.
Remingtons,
Okay.
yeah, travel writers, quiet writers, letter writers, they're all great. They're overlooked, but as a writer's machine, those are amazing typewriters.
Mhm.
The only downside I see to this one is it has a rattle, a body rattle somewhere I got to track down. But other than that, I'll flip the camera back. Other than that, it works beautifully, just beautifully. I thought I was going to regret buying this, but once it cleaned up and I lubed it and cleaned it, it really, if I have to type anything long, I go to this machine by far. So, well, I've rambled on long enough. So.
Well, I don't know about that. We've been rambling for how many hours now on these? Machines, so.
I love
Your
seeing
turn too.
That's so cool.
I do have a question about the second typewriter you were showing.
The 6-pitch.
Yes. There's those numeric buttons at the top.
Yes.
110, 100.
Decimal tabulator.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen those on other large scale Remingtons, Underwoods like that. And I wasn't able to figure out how to use them either, Gregory, but they're like a 10, 100,000. They've got a thing, and I guess it just advances it a larger.
It does. And let's see.
They're cool looking. I just wasn't ever sure how to use them, but I've seen them like that.
They're basically a preset tabulator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me, I don't know if we can see here and how this is the period. Yeah, they are preset. And I remember there is a video somewhere that explains it. It was for ledgers and so forth. That explained how to do it, but I never went back to the typewriter and followed through really mastering using it because I personally didn't have a use for it. But I think this machine will clean it really nice. It does not look like it was used much. And I don't know if that's because somebody bought it and didn't realize it was a 6-pitch. Because have you ever typed on a 6-pitch? They're huge.
It's like driving a truck. The escapement goes so far every space.
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh. You burned your paper like nothing.
They were used, I believe, a lot for like children's books and also for visually impaired.
Sure.
That makes sense. In demand for people that can't see well, and so I know who have been seeking those out. Actually,
Yeah, I'm looking more. I never really looked at the back of this machine. The even the labels are just perfect.
Wow,
it's beautiful. Yeah,
you are so lucky.
And for $25, it was an older gentleman. He said his father bought it new.
Wow.
Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Just don't bring it out on the salt roads.
What's that?
Don't bring it out on the salt roads. Our cars rust within years. A few years, it's just junk.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Wow.
So next week I'll have a few other typewriters I'll bring out.
Excellent. Yeah, well, I'm glad you were finally able to join us. Is great, and I did change your name on the screen as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And if if you ever see Mount Pleasant Typer on Facebook or something, that's me.
Yes.
We've seen you lurking in the comments a few times in the past. So yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I do have some advice about finding type-ins in your area.
Okay.
Look in the mirror.
Oh, you're not the first person that's mentioned that. Ted.
And work with your library. Work with your local library, and they will provide you with space and an audience. So you will begin to find all the typewriter people in your area when you throw a type in, and do a little advertising. Throw some flyers around and make sure that the library itself, they're really good at putting it in
our
on their
library. our library, unfortunately, like a lot of them are pretty much closed up right now because of the pandemic. Well, you know, Wisconsin,
when it opens up. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Wisconsin, we got hit hard with
you did.
cases. Just unbelievable. Our schools, my boys have been doing the virtual learning from home since school started.
Yeah.
And now they finally sent the teachers to teach from their homes too. So everything's locked down here.
Yep.
So
we're at about 20% South Chicago here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bad.
Anyway, that's my advice. Look in the mirror.
No, thank you, Ted. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's where the introvert has to overcome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
You'll get over it.
Yeah, you can talk about typewriters. It's easy.
sure.
It's easy to talk about something you like.
Notice how much you've been talking right now. That's what will happen. I mean, you get with people who are interested in the same thing, and you guys are just gonna never shut up.
You know, at some point, I'd like to find out more about Herman's too, and just I would love to join something like that, to be around all those people, something like that.
You know, I wonder if they're going to do it virtually this upcoming year. I don't know, but they talked about doing another get together like in the summertime. And it wouldn't, they do sort of a hybrid thing. If the pandemic lifts, they may still try to have people be remote because so well. But that would be
nice.
Right. I would certainly appreciate it being over this side of the ocean.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, sure. For the people out of the country,
West Virginia, Morgantown.
Okay.
Morgantown, West Virginia, where he's at.
Pretty easy.
Morgantown's a neat little town. It's right by Pittsburgh. And I mean, they've got the big university there, but yeah. And I was there for my friend was getting his MFA in, and they have a casting program there, Bernardo. That they're very proud of.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Excellent.
So who's next? Alton just joined us.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Mr. Gansky.
I've been here for a while spying on you. So.
I've watched all of Elton's videos as well and loved them.
Don't worry, Dan. You'll get over it.
Very enjoyable.
They're not terminal.
I keep telling him he needs to start making videos again. His videos are so good. They're some of the best typewriter videos.
Yes,
they really are.
Sure.
Stop. Really, stop, please. Stop.
But definitely consider that, sir. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So we have more questions here. This one we actually touched on a little bit last time with Bernardo had mentioned something. So what is a recent spotting you've made of typewriters in movies and television? And then I guess the second part of that question would be, what is your favorite use of typewriters in movies and television?
I saw this movie a couple of months ago, or in the fall here, on the Turner channel. I'm not sure which movie channel, and it was back in the 60s. It was an Italian movie, and this famous Italian actor at the time, he's kind of like a idol actor, and he's still alive today. He's been an actor all these years, and he murdered his friend to get to his friend's girlfriend, and he was keeping him alive by writing letters to the girlfriend, like so he had this typewriter. It was a letterer, and he would travel to Rome or whatever, and in a hotel room and type up these letters, and just to try and mess with her so that she would get over him and come to him.
The talented Mr. Ripley original, it sounds like.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a remake, and they used an Olivetti in that one too.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is only one answer, and that is Naked Lunch.
Absolutely, that was my answer.
Only one answer.
But,
Now,
anyhow.
I do. I do have to throw one out there as the best use of a typewriter, and hopefully this doesn't spoil the movie for anyone, because it plays a critical role in the end of the movie, and that is Stephen King's Misery.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That
definitely a favorite.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So you gotta love that.
I just cringe every time that thing hits the floor, though.
I know.
I was like, oh my god, one less in the world.
Yeah. Exactly. And also, I noticed on Netflix they have a series. I think it's filmed in India. I could be wrong about that. Filmed in India, but it's English language, not dubbed or anything, just spoken in English.
Mhm.
And I believe it's a supernatural thriller, and it's actually called Typewriter.
Yes.
And it does actually use a typewriter. So I haven't actually watched it yet. I barely started it, but it was during the daytime and there were all these dark scenes. So I try not to watch movies with dark scenes during the daytime because of the glare and whatnot. But so I haven't actually watched it yet, but I'm definitely hoping to check that out. So yeah, as you can see the glare on my head.
Well, let's not forget Doctor Who operates the TARDIS entirely with an SM3.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Part of the console on the TARDIS.
Oh
I
my
will
goodness.
have to look for that.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
That's
I've been
interesting.
watching Columbo lately. You know, the old Columbo shows. And I've noticed that in not each episode, but almost every episode, there's a typewriter, but it's not the same typewriter every time. Sometimes they'll have like a Smith Corona Skywriter. They had this one episode of a guy that was an opera or a musician, you know, and there was one in that. And Columbo was talking about how he was solving this mystery because he said that the murderer had taken the sheet of paper out and then rolled it back in. And so the type wasn't lining up perfectly. And so he was doing this whole spiel about deductive reasoning around how it couldn't have possibly been the same person who typed the original letter. I've seen, you know, Selectrics, Olympias, all kinds of different things in that show. Maybe not Selectrics, but there was an electronic, like hybrid type computerized typewriter that was doing government work in one of the scenes. So yeah.
Actually, the first Columbo did have a Selectric one in there. Martin Milner was the author who got shot by what's Cassidy. I can't remember what his first name was, but that was a Selectric in the very first Columbo episode. I love that show. It's one of my best shows ever.
It's so good. And he's always talking about his wife, but you never get to see her.
You never see her.
Wow, let me jump in on that. They did a series. They did a series called Mrs. Columbo.
I heard about that.
A short-lived series. And I can't think of the name of the actress now, but she's the one that starred in Star Trek Voyager as the captain.
Jane something.
Janeway.
Well, that's the character's name, but the actress.
Catherine Janeway's the.
No, it's.
Talking about
it'll come to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll come to me. But anyway, if you watch the Mrs. Columbo series, she writes for a tiny giveaway newspaper, and you'll see her typewriter. I think it's Laterra. I can't remember now, but yeah, there's typewriters in that. And another movie would be All the President's Men.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one has them. And then of course the Press. There are a few other ones. Well, there are hundreds of movies, but I think the farther back we go, the more often we'll see typewriters just in people's homes, in movies, and in offices as a regular feature. It would just be a thing that would be there. And so that's, I think, in the Columbo sets, that's why there's so many of them, because they were just everywhere at that time.
Time to confess. So you're watching a movie and you see a typewriter. How many of you pause? So you can get a good look at it. Go, oh yeah, I know what that is.
My favorite game. I was talking about that last week.
Oh,
name the typewriter. Yeah.
It's a sickness.
Yes, totally do that. And I'm like my daughter, look, it's a typewriter, Charlotte. I got to guess which one it is.
My wife would always call out typer when we see one. We've been watching. You can see these on YouTube. It's called Science Fiction Theater. spelled with a British theater, RE at the end, and it's from 1954 and 55, and it's a science fiction thing where they try to teach you a little science in it, but it's very innocent and hilarious at times from our perspective now, 65 years later from it. But they keep reusing props, and one of the things they use is an IBM electric, and half the time they have the IBM blocked out, the other half they don't. And so it's always fun to see that. But typewriters show up in that thing too.
If you guys have seen Rod Serling from the writer of The Twilight Zone, he did a film called Patterns, which is a killer movie.
Yes.
And there's a lot of typewriters in that, but that one's worth it just for the cinematography, the story, the writing. But there's a lot of typewriters in that one too.
Oh, yeah, he's an interesting character. You showed a KMM. That was the first typewriter when I started collecting, and that's what he wrote on until he started dictating. Okay. But early on, in fact, you'll see a few pictures of him with his KMM.
Hell of a writer, amazing writer.
Yeah, and a damaged man. He's I'm not going to bore everybody with it, but he's got a great story and why he wrote. It was therapy for him. He was
really,
yeah, he was scarred by his time in World War II.
Yeah,
he did what a lot of young guys did. His teacher talked him into not dropping out of high school, but as soon as he graduated, he enlisted, and then he decided he wanted to go into the Army Airborne.
Right here.
And he okay, there you go. But he was too short, but he's very determined young guy. He finally got in there. Well, he ended up in the Pacific and just horrible stuff. And he would later in his career teach at college in New York, which will also come to me sometime after this is all over and it won't do me any good. But anyway, he talks about that. He says, I write because I have to get it out of my gut. You can see him. That's why he smokes so much. You always see him smoking on television. That's what it was. That's one of his ways of dealing with it. But it turned him into a fabulous writer.
Salinger was the same. Salinger was with 4th Infantry Division, 12th Infantry Regiment, Utah Beach, all the way through. And that was the same unit my grandfather was with. And they were in a couple horrible battles, the Battle of Herkin Forest, and there's another example of a guy, and Hemingway too. I think was another guy that was pretty shook up from his experiences.
Vonnegut.
Well.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, the bombing of Dresden, right? Yeah.
So the writing became therapy for him. Hemingway had 7 typewriters. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, he lived in different places, and first one was given to him by his fiancée. It was a little 3-bank Corona. And usually you want to get off those as fast as possible and get onto a 4-bank.
Typewriters.
You want a stronger typewriter than that. Yeah, but that's true. That's the typewriters become an outlet for him. It's therapy for him.
Yeah.
So it made Rod Serling a great writer, and I'll be happy just to remain a mediocre writer and not go through what he did. So.
True, right? But watch Patterns if you guys get a chance. It's a
great movie. Yeah.
Thanks for the tip. I will. I was thinking about sorry.
No, I was just going to say he did several of those that were done live before he got into Twilight Zone, and I just lost 5 Days in May or something like that is another great one. Burt Lancaster.
Is that the one about the military coup? That was
John Burt Lancaster and awesome. Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, that movie's amazing. That is a great film. Yeah,
he gets underrated because he did the Twilight Zone stuff, but his stuff is great too. But yeah, he won a ton of Emmys.
I was gonna say I thought of another TV show, science fiction. I don't know if you watched it. It was called Fringe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a parallel universe, and they communicated via typewriter between universes.
I'll have to go back and watch that one.
I know what I'll be
about
doing
that.
the rest of the weekend. Fringe and patterns.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get some sun.
Raisin in the Sun too. Don't forget. That's a great one.
Raisin
I
Sun.
watched that
Oh.
last week.
The Post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Shining.
Yeah,
That's
there
a
you
cool
go.
Oh, of
movie.
course,
John.
of course.
That's a great movie.
One of the
A
most
huge
obvious
part
ones.
of that film.
Very
John
good.
Adler. Right? Isn't that what he had?
Mm-hmm. Adler Universal, probably late 60s.
One of my favorites, and I don't remember how much the typewriter played a role during the show, but at least in the opening sequence, there was Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another KMM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
Ellery Queen.
Oh yeah,
Ellery
yeah.
Queen,
That
yes.
KMM right there in the beginning with the chessboard.
Ah. And there was a production company. They produced TV shows, I want to say in the 80s. I was trying to look it up right now. I couldn't remember. It was something like JL Productions or something like that. And
Guy who writes them.
like at the end of the yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's typing and he pulls it out like that.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, so I forget the name of that company, but I was trying to find it because they have the little snippet on YouTube. I just stumbled upon it one time, but I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a great topic. We had lots of great recommendations for that. Let's see.
And I want to thank you for being honest and confessing to stopping your program so you could figure out which typewriter it was. You didn't want to be the only one in the world.
Oh no. Yeah, I've even stopped it and then taken a picture of the screen. So
well, now I'm starting to feel good about myself.
There you go.
I've been tempted to video the scene that has the typewriter with the people talking about the typewriter in it, and I've just held back. I've really held back, but man, it's so tempting in some of these shows.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I know. Like, oh, it's the scene where he's talking about it.
Now I can always comfort myself by saying, well, at least I'm not as bad as Gregory the poor typist.
For the rest of us. Gosh.
All right. So the next question, and this is the big question, is another deep one. So, what will happen to your collection when you're gone? Do you have plans for your collection?
Well, I do a little woodworking, and I'm making my own casket. It's 12 feet by
12 feet.
Well, I need to get all those typewriters in there with me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's big enough.
Oh man.
Could you do that for all of us? Can we commission the work?
So we can be buried with the typewriters.
Yeah, you'd be totally do that, Alton.
That's funny.
Well, I don't know that anyone wants my typewriters, but as far as like my collection of documentation and of course, you know, electronic assets that I'm running, eventually I'm going to have to figure out some foundation or, you know, whether it's Etsy or some other group that has the resources and at least someone with the web skills to deal with the typewriter database. Eventually I'm going to have to do something in my will about that. But as far as the machines themselves, I mean, they'll probably end up in a yard sale. There's nothing there that's really all that exciting for, I mean, I'm sure people will want some of these machines because they're in good shape.
I'll take all the thermals.
But the machines themselves are not historically significant, so I'm not too worried about them.
Yeah.
Got bigger fish to fry on that one when I die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your typewriter database service is incredibly important.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's going to
yeah.
be some plan for handing that off at some point. So
Mhm.
I've got
Yeah.
a while.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's a huge difference. It's quite the resource.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if it could be printed. I mean, it sounds like it'd be a ridiculously large project, but
I've thought about publishing a book of the listings, but everything changes.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
It's
a
so-
just a constantly changing resource. So
yeah,
the web is the only place for it.
right.
So
Unless a yearly edition or something.
you could
No.
do that, but who
Yeah, too much
really
work.
wants to get involved with that?
Yeah.
But I'm it's going to be web based for the foreseeable future, unless we just figure out everything. And, once we've got everything figured out and all ageless for all the typewriters, then maybe we can put it in a book of
Mhm.
what 1,000, 1,500 pages maybe. Because I'd want to put pictures of the machines themselves in there as well, from
Yeah.
the collections.
That would
And
be-
Just give it to the government, and then we'll pay registration every year for the typewriter.
Oh.
if you give it to the government, it'll get buried in some office and it'll disappear.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's probably true.
Some warehouse right next to the Ark of the Covenant or something.
I was
Yeah,
just
exactly.
thinking that. I was just thinking that.
No, I'm going to find some people who are real excited about it and nose to the grindstone kind of people, and it'll get passed off. So that's the idea anyway.
The
Yeah.
plan for me is just to give them away before I die. Like, I love typewriters, but I think I want to whittle down my collection, and I want to give them to people who actually, will like them.
Yeah.
So I kind of do this thing where I collect things and then I give them away.
Mhm.
So, but I have, I don't know, 35, 40.
Yeah.
And they're all good ones. I mean, I don't have one in there that I don't like, so I've given a few away to kids. Greg's going to get my SM3 here.
Look at that.
Well, I never use it. I'll send it over to you, Greg. We'll get the bubble wrap going.
I think Gregory,
Just let me know.
the Olympias do you have now? You have the SM7, the 3, the SF. What else do you have?
Me?
Gregory.
Oh,
About
I actually have the SF,
Mhm.
the 9. I have the electric one, the XL 13, 17.
Mhm.
What else? Of course the the Splendid 33. Let's not forget that one.
Right.
I think that might be it. I don't have a whole lot of Olympias actually. I mostly have Royals.
Oh yeah, Royals are great.
Yeah.
Are there
I
any
did.
that you want besides what you've got?
You want some SM3?
Sure, and then of course at the top of my wish list is the Traveler Deluxe with the orange with white trim. Oh man,
Oh.
yeah, that thing is just gorgeous.
Mhm.
We have a full Brady Bunch again.
Morning.
Oh, it's
Unfortunately,
Hello, May.
Hi. Yeah, I
Hey.
had a late
yes, welcome,
start.
May.
Good to
That's
see you.
fine.
I slept in a little bit, but I was listening for the past about 10 minutes while I was
Oh,
getting dressed and freshening up about the what happens to your typewriter collection after you're gone. And
yeah.
that's a good question. I haven't really thought of that. So, but I was listening to Ted. Like yours, mine aren't really super collectible, rare, expensive machines. So I don't really care what happens to them when I'm gone. I can't take them with me.
Yeah.
Alton will.
Yeah.
His toilet. Yeah.
I suppose
Yeah,
my daughter will
I'll have to do a coffin
make a little
extension.
money on eBay.
Oh yeah.
They'll just get recycled back out into the typosphere, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably by that time you'll make a lot more money on them than you spent on them.
Oh, true. I could start selling them one by one, towards the end of my life, I suppose. But we don't know when that's going to be. So
I do.
I'm gonna.
Whoa. Ted, you mean
Wait.
the end of your life or her life?
Mine.
Oh,
September
okay.
15th, 2045.
Oh, well, at least it's a ways off.
Yeah, it's a ways off. I'll be in my 80s.
There you go. Oh, man.
May, does your daughter like typewriters? Does she use them also?
She does. She doesn't. She's neutral. She wants one. She asked me the other day to help her find one once she gets her office redone. And of course, the typewriter has to match the decor. So yeah,
very important.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
like
she's
she's more about it being a kind of a fashion statement or
right.
Well,
she does want it to work, so she does want to use it, but just not all the time like we do. But eventually, yes, I'm going to help her find. Either she's going to pick one out of my collection, or I'll help her find one that's more suitable. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. What's her color scheme?
Like teals and neutral and white so far. So I'm thinking like a neutral typewriter, which are a dime a dozen, will be pretty easy to find. I'm thinking
maybe an Olympia and like an ivory color or something.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. Or one of those SM5s, or not SM5s.
Yeah.
Smith Corona 5 series.
Oh yeah, that would
work. Some of those neutral colors. I've got lots of brown ones.
Yes. That would be good. What about you, Gregory? Do you have a plan for your typewriters when you go?
I will have a plan. I actually just recently signed up for the legal plan with my employer. So as part of that, for the monthly fee that I'll be paying, I can get all kinds of crazy legal stuff done, including a will, which is important. I'm approaching the big 50. So
oh, okay.
Me
And
too.
You are? Okay. Well, you can't tell. Everybody looks so
yeah.
I thought we were
I remember when I was young too.
Way past those days.
Yeah. So basically, someone wants to come in. Oh, Diane's joining us.
Hey.
Diane?
Yeah,
hey, Diane.
Yay. I got to plug in my phone here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Diane.
Hello.
Hi.
Finally, I get home, man.
So basically, the plan is, I have a favorite thrift store, and I'm assuming they'll still be around. They actually are set up to fund the local animal shelter, which is where we got one of our dogs from. And so basically, I will donate all the typewriters to that thrift store, and I'll know that all the typewriters are going to the benefit of our animal friends. So
good man.
That's wonderful.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I like that.
Yeah.
Within my phone.
I would consider selling them, but leaving them for my wife or someone to sell. But that's a big hassle that no one wants. So I think it would be better off to be donated, especially considering that again, my collection, none of them are valuable. So yeah, but that's the plan there.
Who was it in Chicago?
I'm in South Chicago.
Isn't there a writers museum there?
There is. They had a they did do a exhibit, and I reached out and I said, "Hey, I've got some I'd like to contribute," but they found somebody. It was kind of like authors and their typewriters that they did.
Yeah.
I think they did something similar in Springfield too, at the museum down there. but I'm just gonna give them away. So first come,
I
first
guess the
serve.
question must be what we're gonna do with typewriters at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we
Oh.
die.
Oh.
I've just decided not to die.
There you go.
Good news.
It is the easiest plan.
Yeah, it simplifies everything.
Yeah.
I like
It's overrated.
Yes. Everybody's doing it, I know, but not
Sometimes you got to rebel against the system.
That's
Yeah.
I think they were talking about Israeli scientists were doing some studies with telomeres or whatever, with oxygen. That was just
telomeres from breaking down, losing their tails.
And they were actually finding success. So Elton, maybe they were able to reverse the aging process. But I think their sample size was like 35 people, which is not a good sample size.
They're not testing on people, they're testing on like lab animals.
Well, this was an oxygen tank.
Okay.
People were just sitting in oxygen.
Oh, an oxygen tent, yeah.
And they were able to reverse the aging process through just basically oxygen.
Wow.
So if you want to sit in an oxygen tank for the rest of your life,
but your skin will look great.
You'll live forever in a tank. So.
No one will see you.
Just take a typewriter, you'll be entertained.
There you go.
Or you could just breathe really hard, really fast all the time, you know.
Pass out.
And you'll know you're alive.
Hyperventilate.
Stay away from open flames.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happened to the whole spontaneous combustion thing? There used to be a thing about people spontaneously combusting.
I remember that.
Smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I think
you don't hear about that anymore. Is it
kind of amazing though?
Was it a fad?
Yeah, it's just like people walking around exploding.
It turned out not to be as much fun as people thought. So
yeah.
You can only do it once.
Put it in a story, Elton, where one of the characters just spontaneously combusts out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Right in front of the jury.
I put stranger stuff in.
So Anthony Connolly's in the comments, and he says he does have some rare typewriters, but they will be donated to an organization in KC, Kansas City. Is that right? That has a consignment store. So, yeah. Very good. Very good. Going to a good cause. That's a good thing. I did have an idea for a story. So you can live forever, but you have to keep typing. You cannot stop typing, but you can live forever.
There was a Twilight Zone, since we were talking about Rod Serling earlier. Twilight Zone, where a guy gets eternal life, but then he's convicted to life in prison.
Yes. Pushes his wife out the window in a fight. Yeah, that's a great episode.
Very good.
That's terrible.
All right. So another question here, and it is the last one I have, but and we've kind of addressed this a little bit in the past, but not quite so directly, I guess. Do typewriters make you a better writer?
Yes.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Excellent. We're all in agreement. There's no naysayers? Like, no, it absolutely does not.
Not saying no.
For me, it's a little harder to answer that. I know that sometimes I will use a typewriter to generate ideas, but if you have to turn a manuscript in, it all has to be done electronically anyway. So it's I've written a few scenes here and there, but then I have to put it back into the computer because no publisher is going to take it typewritten anymore. Most of them don't even know what a typewriter is anymore. So for me, it's not functional professionally, but there is, and you're onto something here, there is something different about it. that when I turn from the computer and I feed in a little paper and I just start writing, then often that breaks down whatever the barriers are. And I think there is an advantage to it. And I guess that's why there's still a lot of writers who do write everything by typewriter still. And then, of course, usually they're successful and they pay people to type it up for them, but put it into the computer. But
stream of consciousness, like you can have an outline, you can have an idea, and I think most writers, we walk around and we think a lot. Like we'll be doing things, but like away, we're somewhere else thinking about how am I going to work this scene out? How am I going to, do this? And it's kind of almost, after a while, it becomes subconscious. And then when you sit down, when you come home from work and you type, it just kind of comes out, and then it goes in different directions that you never thought about. And one of the greatest things you could be as a writer is work in manual labor, because your mind is free. So you don't, if you're doing a job and you're using your mind, if you're problem solving for people all the time, you don't want to write at the end of the day, but if you do, when I did manual labor, I was writing every day because I'd been thinking about stuff that I wanted to write. And unfortunately, now I have a job where I have to use my brain, and so I'm tapped out when I come home.
So you're the one.
I'm the one. Yes.
This is kind of weird, but what you just said reminded me of something that whenever I used to have a little Palm Pilot thing, and
oh wow,
I can't tell you how many of my short, in quotes, short stories I wrote actually on the toilet. Bathroom breaks at work,
Yeah.
I've got this,
Yeah, pretty much.
note cards for ideas for stuff for later.
That's what it was. That's what a lot of it was. It's like, oh, a scene, and it's like, sit there and type it out before I forgot it.
Yes, you have to work.
That's kind of embarrassing.
No, it's not.
Next question is
record music.
Typewriters in bathrooms. What do we think? Thumbs down.
Harry Brooks wrote a book for writers. He writes fantasy stuff, and so he was writing about the writing process. And he has a chapter where he quotes his wife, and the chapter title is "You're Not All Here, Are You?" And
Right.
That was the idea, is that many writers' minds are constantly going for something, and she would be in a conversation with him, and he's not there. Yeah. He's standing by her, but he's not there. And that's the thing, that something will trigger that process. That's true for all creativity. It's not just writers, but any type of creativity.
Yeah, that internal dialogue gets me a lot of enemies sometimes.
Oh,
Like, you're not paying attention to me. Sorry. I was somewhere else.
I was listening to myself, and I'm infinitely more interesting than you are. So.
I was thinking about that manual labor comment that David was making too, and how your mind kind of can wander when you're doing a project like that. And I've noticed that whenever I've been repairing typewriters, I sort of get into that mode, kind of like if I'm doing a house project. You're so up close and personal with the parts and the moving pieces, and your mind can kind of go in different places, but it's also a wonderful way to connect with the machine and what you're doing. So, but yeah, I agree with him that doing manual labor, instead of having to constantly field intellectual questions maybe all day, would free you up to have a big imagination that you could explore when you get home.
Meditation. Cleaning and working on typewriters is meditation. And
Definitely.
we're in front of screens all the time. We're constantly using our intellect to fight with people we've never met on the internet. And when you get rid of that and take that energy into creative projects, it's life changing. It makes you a better writer too. I'm not on social media anymore for that exact reason, because I was really good at arguing. And I'm like, why am I spending so much time arguing when I could be writing? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It helps.
It's not even on there as me, so.
Yeah. when I'm on Facebook and I have that immediate urge to respond to somebody, a lot of times I'll just turn to the typewriter and type it out on the typewriter, and then
Good.
like,
That's
oh,
good advice.
okay, I've said what
Good.
I needed to say. They don't need to hear it.
Right.
It's not going to change their mind.
It avoids an awful lot of conflict for me, because I also am very I got to say something, but then I just say it over here. Then I can take it out, throw it in the trash,
or save it.
Throw it in the basket, whatever.
Write it out. Write it out and use it again.
That could be a lot of whiteout.
The typewriter does save me a lot of electronic grief as far as getting into arguments. I just, once you put it down on paper and you see those words and you're like, that's not what I need to say to people.
That's
Writers
so
I really enjoy, guys that I that helped me when I first started, are some of the, that they're using all their energy for that stuff now. They're not writing as much as they used to, and it's kind of just sad.
Yeah, especially
because
lately.
It's an immediate platform. You immediately get, there's not that delayed gratification of having someone respond and read your poetry or whatever, right? It's instant. You get a like, and I mean, that's what writers, I think a lot of writers, that's what we want. We want to be accepted and to be understood and to be wanted, right? And and you get that instantly with the internet. But it's not real. It's not, it's not the same thing. It's tricking you into thinking it's the same.
Yeah.
True.
So
yeah.
As we're talking on the internet right now, so
I know.
This is real.
But see, here we panel into good communication and yeah.
And we're basically talking to each other. We're not
yes,
talking to faceless strangers. I mean, eventually faceless strangers will hopefully watch the show and hear what we've said, but we're not addressing them. We're addressing each other.
Yeah. We do have 3 people watching, actually.
Oh,
I see you, and you.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the Zoom is you can do the you can switch between the speaker view and the gallery view, and I like having the gallery view on.
Yeah.
So I can see what everybody's doing.
See everyone.
Spy on you.
Okay, where's that function now?
Should be at the top. If you mouse over the top of the Zoom meeting screen, you should see enter full screen, and then next to it is either speaker view or the gallery view.
Let's see.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm learning
There's
so much.
Bernardo. Yeah.
I'm on the iPad, so it's in a different spot.
And it'll switch back because sometimes when somebody talks, it'll switch to the big view for them, and that screws up your gallery view. But then you could just hit that button again; it'll come back. And I like that because I can see all your smiling faces.
I have a question.
Oh yes, go ahead.
Now I'm on a Mac. The image of myself is mirrored, but I'm assuming everybody else is correct. Now,
I actually have to. That's a webcam thing. It'll reverse the view so that when you do your hands, it kind of feels like the right hand is working. That's why they mirror it. But I actually have mine mirrored again so that you can read all the words. I had to actually fiddle around with the settings to do that. So
you can, it's easy to switch that. It's just clicking a box. Go down to video, click the up arrow.
In my my settings, like
down at the bottom of the screen. You're on a Mac, you say. So down at the bottom of the screen, it says you move your cursor down there. You'll see the video, and video settings.
Video settings. Okay.
You click on that, and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mirror.
right under your camera, it says mirror my video.
Okay. All right. There. That's correct now.
Voila.
I gotta get going. I'm gonna make some breakfast.
Have a good breakfast,
Alrighty.
David.
But you guys
All
are
right,
the best.
David.
All right.
Aw.
It was
Don't
nice
Thank you so
meeting
much,
you,
David.
And don't forget that. You're the best. All right.
Aw.
See you guys.
Oh, we know.
I may
Oh,
forget it. So
Just-
if I
just
forget it, you
remember
can
when
tell
you're-
me again.
Okay.
Just
You're the
remember,
best,
David.
Elton. All right. Bye.
David, when you're
Bye,
ready to give
David.
away. Oh,
Bye, David.
when
No,
you're
go
ready
ahead,
to give
John.
away, when you're ready to give away the Valentine, I'll cover the postage.
All right, brother. Good deal. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Back
Very
to the
good.
He has-
bunch. Gregory is now our Paul Lind.
Well,
So, unfortunately, on the iPhone, I'm on the iPhone, and even in the gallery view, you can only see 4 people at once. So if I want to see
Yes.
everyone, I have to swipe.
Ah, okay.
That's a
I see
pain.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see all of us too.
yeah, I've got just the
Yeah.
same Gregory four at a time.
Yeah.
Kind
And
of
of
a
course,
bummer.
all this makes no sense to the people watching on YouTube because they're probably seeing the output view.
They are. The good thing is when I swipe to go full screen,
Mhm.
it goes full screen on the live stream. So
Oh, okay, so you can control that. That's neat.
yeah, it's a little clunky compared to StreamYard, but
Mhm.
it can still be done. And then I have to put spotlight on the person as well. That way it stays just on them. So it's a little tricky, but yeah. Well,
Greg-
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Are we going to be able to watch this whole thing later then that has been recorded or not?
We are live on YouTube right now as we speak.
So we can go back and rewatch this like with the other ones that we've done in the past?
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay, because usually what I do on my drive to San Francisco to go get my kids on Sunday nights is I watch the beginning of the show because I've missed it, and then I get to learn all the stuff that I missed.
Oh.
And that's kind of my entertainment going up to the city because it's like an hour-long drive. So,
Oh, so wait, you watch it while you're driving?
I listen
Busted.
listen while I'm driving. I don't watch
Okay.
listen
Okay.
the words, but I know all your voices by heart.
Oh.
But it's just something that because I like to be, to see the whole show and to be educated on the first hour that I always miss. And it kind of gives me something positive to do on that long drive, which is kind of a hassle every Sunday. So I was just hoping I could watch the rest of it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can.
We the beginning of this one, it was another rough start because Zoom has its own difficulties, but
We were
overall,
learning.
yeah, overall it's much better.
Yeah, it's much.
Oh,
It's
so
just-
much better.
It's
Yeah.
just starting the live stream on YouTube is very, very clunky. So like I tell it I want to start the live stream, it puts me actually on YouTube, which I then have to exit out of and then go back into Zoom. So so that part is a mess, but once we get going, it's great. So
Better you than
Is there-
me.
Sorry, I had a cat jumping on my keyboard again.
I'm gonna say goodbye for now. It's great seeing you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Alton.
Nice meeting you, Alf.
Yeah.
Bye, Alton.
Good to see you, Alton.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, now we are out of questions, but does anyone have anything that they want to show? We haven't
I
really.
have a question. I have a practical
Yes.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
My Adler Tippa that I showed before, its cover has a crack here. What would you guys use to repair that?
I've heard of a product called JB Weld, although I've never used it. Has anybody else used that?
Yeah, but on a plastic like that, I would probably use just super glue, like
Yeah, regular
cyanacrylic.
spray on
Super glue?
plastic.
Yeah.
I would,
Just super glue.
yeah, for
All
plastic.
right.
If it was metal, JB Weld, but
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Is there glue better. I've heard that Gorilla Glue expands and gets really kind of fuzzy, and you have to file it down or something.
Yeah, it kind of
Is there-
foams up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I use whatever super glue is available at the store.
Okay.
The thing is on this case, when I'm carrying it, not that I carry it a lot these days, switching to gallery view again, the machine, the weight of the machine makes this kind of movement, and that's why the crack is there. So I'm wondering if the super glue will hold up.
It should hold. I've glued a couple cases together, and they've held together pretty well.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Like maybe a little like duct tape on the inside just to give it a little extra support.
I was just gonna say duct tape.
But on the inside, so it's hidden, you know.
No, I say put it on the outside. Wear it with pride.
No.
Or just put a sticker there, like
there you go.
Some band you like. Just
Oh
put it over
yeah,
the top.
database sticker on it.
Typewriter database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typewriter database sticker.
We do have stickers. They're available.
I have something to show.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
If I can get the camera to go, switch it around.
There you go.
Oh.
Oh, we were just talking about SMs.
Oh yeah. I have.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's got a wide carriage.
SM4.
Nice.
I have one in front of me right now. The exact.
Oh, do you?
No, mine is the SM3. You have the 4, right?
Yeah, that's the 4.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah,
white carriage SM3.
I've got the 3 too.
Yeah,
My
I just
laptop's-
got this in the mail yesterday, or through FedEx yesterday, so it survived.
Wow.
Good.
That's nice.
That is a
Yeah.
nice.
The chrome trim on those is really eye catching.
It is.
Yeah.
They are
That's what I love
delightful
about-
machines.
That's what I love about my little Olympia SF. It has that chrome trim.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very nice.
Now, Gregory, isn't that the same model that David is going to be sending you?
SM3, he said. SM3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the 3 and the 4? I've got a 1960 SM4 narrow, but what's the difference between the 3 and the 4?
It
the 4
has
the tab sets.
the tab clear and the tab set right here.
Okay.
The key set tabulator
on this space bar.
Kind of looks like you'll have to replace the washers on the bottom of that one.
Oh,
the keys.
Yeah.
I already did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
I had to do that on mine.
Yeah, me too.
I use these little things here.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, another difference between the SM3 and 4 is the SM4 has a carriage release on the left side as well as the right side, whereas the SM3 only has the one on the right. And then the SM3, you have to set the tabs in the back with the.
I see.
Yep.
The tab rack.
That's about it.
I never use the tabs anyway, so.
Me neither.
Oh, yeah.
I love 3. Such a cute typewriter. It's just got an elegant, nice size.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to show before we
One
call it a
last
day?
detail. Let me get it. It's I used Ted's Repair Bible yesterday.
Yay!
And I cleaned 2 typewriters.
Ooh,
So one
look
of
at
them,
that.
this
Zephyr.
a Zephyr, 1938 Zephyr.
Oh,
I've been sitting on it for a couple of months. It had a few problems. I broke the ribbon, the spring. I broke one of the ribbon advance springs, and so I super glued the spring back together, and it works. I don't know for how long, but if it goes, at least I'll know what's wrong with it. I customized it a little bit with a little pretty paper and the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Gray foam. And then you can't see it, but in the type bars, I had to put a piece of felt. I'll add some pictures later in the Facebook group. So instead of felt, I had some scrap pieces of weaving bands, real thin bands. And so underneath is a woven wool band under the type bars instead of a piece of felt. So you can't see it.
Oh, nice.
That looks really
customized,
nice.
and
You still got your spool caps.
Yeah, it skips a little bit, but I've learned that if you do the whack-a-mole style typing, then it's fine. But you have to type that way, otherwise it skips. So I'm still working on that issue, but otherwise it's in good condition. And
that's beautiful.
82 years old. It's unbelievable. It reminds me of a brother JP3. It's the exact same shape and size, 80 years.
You can adjust the skipping problem. There's I can send you a link.
Oh, great. That would be awesome. And then the other one I cleaned up is of course, these are everywhere, but I love it. The camo colored 5 series. This is a sterling. And
not around here. They're not everywhere.
It's in America.
They're very rare around here.
Yeah, they're very rare. But here in the United States, they're almost a dime a dozen where I live, in various conditions.
So well made.
But it's an elite, that's my favorite because you can smash more words. You can put more nonsense on a page, with the elite. So I really like it. I love the way it types. It's so smooth. It's one of my favorites are the 5 series and the way they feel on the fingers. So those are my 2 recently cleaned typewriters. I've got 3 more to go. So I'll have more for future show and tells.
Hey, check the Zoom chat. There's a link for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, here's a Corona. This is that weird Corona, Ted, that shows up as a Model A on your
Oh yeah. That's
yeah,
the caps
because
only one.
What?
Yeah.
It's a caps only.
It is. It shows. It says Corona, and then get out. I hate to think what the cat just typed on my work document. I'm using my work laptop to support my iPad, but it says Model A underneath the Corona on the You can't really see it because I'll drop it on the laptop probably. You can see there's words underneath the word Corona there.
I've only seen one other of those. They're really rare.
Oh, have you? It's like I got this in a local antique store, and yeah, it is a mill. It does all caps, and as you can see, the keyboard is funky. It's 1 through 0, and then all lowercase. And I actually tried to sell it at the last in-person. Was it the last in-person Herms or the one before?
And no one took you
up
on
it? The last one.
No one took you up on it? That's surprising.
Christina Albrecht wanted. She gave me a low ball, and I wouldn't take it. So I since got the missing part that I needed to get the. I had a part missing on this side. Underneath on the ribbon mechanism, and I got that from somebody else, and I managed to get it in there, and so it's not for sale anymore. And nice. I don't know. She thinks that somebody rekeyed it, and it's like I don't know how the heck you'd tell.
No, they didn't. That's the way it came.
Because it's like it looked really funky, and yeah, I found this in a local antique store. So. Anyway,
yeah, like I said, I've seen one other of those, and they are very, very uncommon. And I guess it's some sort of budget model or a mill or something, but no one really knows much about them. So
yeah, it has the all caps, and then there's like little tilde marks on the top part. So there is no. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't see. Yeah, there's like a row. It's like tilde marks. It's like I looked at this in the store and I'm like, what the heck? And I thought, well, I'll just have to pick that up. So
I actually had a 1970s Linea 98 Olivetti that had that same thing with the tilde on all the top parts of the keys, and it was just a single case machine. It might be a label maker. I've heard of people using those as just a label maker for a store.
I don't know. There is a $sign and a dash,
Mm-hmm.
a colon, a comma, a period, and a question mark.
Yeah, I've heard theories that they were just an economy model meant to be used for making labels in a store. So it could be that. Who knows?
Well, anyway, so that's that weird entry that I have.
Yeah.
Very good.
Did you put it in a typewriter database?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it has a J serial number, but it says Model A. So I don't know. I didn't know how to put it, and I forget what it says in the database now. So
those companies in the 30s, you never know what they'll do. What pieces are they going to put together this day?
This is true. But yeah, it's out there.
I have something I'd like to show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Recently, I have possession of the old family projector.
Oh, cool.
Getting it going, and one of the slides that I came across is a picture of the first typewriter that I ever used.
Oh.
That was my sister on her at Christmas, and it's a Sears Easy Touch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the first typewriter. I used to spend hours on that thing, just fiddling around with it.
That's where it all began.
Yes.
And something else I was given recently.
So you still have it? Oh.
No.
Okay.
But this is something I was given. It's a correctotype dispenser.
Oh, no way.
Oh, wow.
Valentine.
Heart-shaped.
Yeah. And it's just.
Oh, look at that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember.
I was actually looking
those.
at one of those on,
Not the
on
heart-shaped
eBay.
ones, but
Yeah.
the square rectangular ones. I do remember those now.
Yeah. It came with a monstrous Underwood Forum typewriter. It's given to me.
Oh.
Holy cow, that is a monster.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Oh yeah, it works.
Excellent.
It's pretty dirty. I got to clean it out, but it works great. I find the keys are just like it's meant for like small, delicate fingers.
Underwood Electrics are that way. They have a very compressed keyboard.
Yeah.
They look a lot bigger than they actually are. Those machines.
It's got the super wide carriage too on it. So I'll get around to playing with it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is officially our longest live video now. Of course, the first 15 minutes of it.
Yeah. We had really 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just about at 3 hours, but the first 15 minutes was us trying to figure things out, kind of. So, but does anyone else have anything else they wanted to show? Nope.
Got
all right.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for being so welcoming to me, and it's been nice meeting all of you. And
I'm so glad
I will
you finally
try my
made it
best.
on.
I will try my best to do the same next week. Are you good planning on being next week, Gregory?
Every week.
Every week we do it.
Fantastic. Well, you guys have a great rest of the weekend.
You too.
You too.
All right. You take care now.
Nice
all right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much, everybody.
Gregory, do you have before you close, you have an idea for next week's theme?
I'm playing around with ideas, but do you have an idea?
No, I was just curious.
I know what the theme is.
What?
Let's see. 11. Oh, this is 11:29, so we don't.
Yeah, I haven't posted it yet. I haven't posted it yet.
I'm like, I thought I was gonna cheat and look at the website.
I know.
We'll come up with some good ideas.
So if anybody does have ideas, feel free to drop them either in the Facebook group or on the website, or just reach out to me, whatever. But one I'm kind of toying with. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but it's going to be called Type and Talk. So essentially, it's going to be like show and tell. However, we're going to actually like a type in, and then we'll take turns either talking about what we're writing or actually reading it, that sort of thing. And one thing I did notice is when we were doing the Zoom test earlier in the week, when I was typing, it actually lowered the volume. I see right now.
Yeah, the background noise is eliminated a lot of times in Zoom. So we might not be able to hear each other's typewriters, but we could still give it a try.
We could even we could even make the rule, if you're going to be doing extensive typing, to mute yourself, and then when you want to talk about it, you can unmute yourself. We'll see, but I'm not sure that's going to be next week. I'll kind of brainstorm and see what ideas I come up with. You want to do it?
Combination. Yeah, why not?
Because we're going to need more content than just a type in, so we can have a type in addition to a topic to talk about.
Okay, that sounds good then.
Sounds like a good idea.
We'll make it type and talk. Yeah, exactly.
Type and talk, yeah.
Type and talk. So, all right. That's a deal then.
I hope it lasts long enough for me to get here.
Well, we're going 3 hours now, so they just get longer.
You want it to be all day?
Sure. We'll have a virtual Herman's every week.
Yeah.
Hopefully Joe will be able to join us next week.
Mm-hmm. We should have some music in the background.
Well, Ted has a bass guitar.
Hold on.
I have a couple of
Bernardo has a cello there.
Yeah.
And
then we can have drinks.
Yeah.
Do some day drinking, mimosas.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh,
Ted's got
that's my speed.
I can do you some dance music.
There you go.
I'm my
and
groove
it's
box.
Really a typewriter club.
Yeah. I also have a Korg Chaosilator, so we could use that as well.
What?
A Korg Chaosilator. It's like it's essentially a different kind of groove box to what he was showing. Yeah. So because I make electronic music, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get a party going.
Yeah. Get some lights going.
I missed virtual Herman's, so I really did mean to come, but that just wasn't to be that particular day. So anyway.
Well, it's forever on the web now.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. So next week we're going to do the type and talk, and that should be interesting.
Sounds great.
Thank you for
Look
hosting.
forward to it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Greg. Nice to see everyone.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody.
See you around.